Well, it's so good to have you here, everybody. Welcome to Towers and Gods, episode 130. Ooh, my back. Ooh, 130 episodes. That's crazy. Okay, we hit another milestone. Another 10 episodes. I never actually said that off mic. Congrats, everybody. We hit 130 episodes. Let's frickin' go. Thanks for being with me for 130 episodes. Appreciate that. Milios is on camera, but is currently in Elgato mode, in case you were wondering. Okay, if you're new to this, Towers and Gods is Tower of God plus D&D. I'm the DM. All the great people over here are the cast, the playable characters, or I guess player characters. Eden. I goofed. Eden's not on screen. No,
I'll just go away. Goodbye.
I was just focused on the cameras. Eden, no. We'll put Eden on screen. We'll fucking
of all the characters, of all the people,
come on, cut me some slack.
the lore master got excluded from the.
I'm not one.
I was rushing. Forgive me, Hannah. Oh no.
That's exactly what happens when we start early.
Wow, is that where this is going? No,
Amy,
no.
that's the best damn point you've ever made in your life, Joe.
That's a fact. I'm out here getting shamed for being slightly, quote unquote, late.
I never shamed you. Where did I shame you?
Hey man, I'm just saying.
I am not shaming you.
We're exactly 13 minutes early, okay?
Fair enough. Well, everyone, it's great having you here. I'm going to introduce our lovely cast. We have, you know what? Let's start with Hannah as Eden. Hannah, how you doing?
Well,
okay.
If I had to describe my perfect date, it's a tough one. I'd have to say April 25th, because it's not too hot and it's not too cold. All you need is a light jacket. And not being forgotten on the opening screen! But that's fine. Hi everyone, welcome to the stream! I got to do my normal thing, hello. If you don't know what that meme's from...
Reality quote, right?
Yes, ma'am!
Oh, okay.
I've been seeing that all over on Twitter today. It's one of those like movie quotes that
yes.
mentions
As soon as I saw that this morning, I'm like, I have my opening.
Nice. Well, it is always so great having you here, an irreplaceable member of this cast. We love you, Hannah. Thank you so much. Let's go ahead and move on over to the left. We have Isaiah as Kunjong say. Isaiah, how are you doing?
If anybody that's watching this hasn't played Expedition 33, go do that.
I was gonna say,
You stole my intro!
I was gonna say, we're not allowed to mention that game.
If you don't get into RPGs, get over that, and then go play it.
What he meant to say, if you don't enjoy it, you're a fucking loser. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
Gotta get 8 minutes in, we're gonna get demonetized.
That is
We don't
what I meant to
monetize
say.
this is an
These
18
later
plus
episodes
stream.
anyway.
Viewers
Hey,
in discretion.
woo, all
We're
right.
not safe here.
Well, I am looking forward to checking that game out. It looks fire. Moving down, we have our special guest. We have Amy as June. Amy, how are you?
Doing great. Today, Joe and I had kids over, so it was a long day. Our nieces and nephews. Oh my gosh. Ruka, I do not, what's the word? Envy you.
I get
So,
you.
yeah.
I
That
get
was
you so
pretty crazy. Yeah, we had 2 nieces and a nephew.
perform.
It was pretty nuts. Pretty nuts. It was a lot of fun though. It was a lot of fun.
It was
Amy, I'm not gonna lie to you. The pause, like the brief second before you said over and kids, I lashed out to that pretty quick.
Wow, I didn't think about that. His son was like, all right, well, moving on, we have Son Woo as Lopo Be a Woo. How you doing, son?
I have nothing to say. Isaiah stole my intro.
Damn.
If you don't play this game, I hate all of you. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
Amen.
Whoa!
That's, okay, fair enough. Ruka, will you be playing this game? Let's start there. Let's narrow down who son hates and who son doesn't hate, right?
Fine.
There are exceptions.
If I like to
Okay,
my
here we
characters,
go.
Mom, can you let me out of this?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, there you go.
We have Ruka. Ruka, how are you? We have Ruka playing Ace.
Hi. I'm so excited for this mini arc. I hope you guys enjoy it. I think it's gonna be a blast. So thank you for being here. I appreciate it so much. Thank you.
It's going to be a blast. And by the way, the kind words on the art has been awesome. It's so cool seeing how many people are appreciating what Urino especially cooked last week with all 4, I think it was, of the new art pieces. Urino's amazing, and you can go support them in the description as well, our artist for Towers and Gods. And last but certainly not least, we have our resident Double B, Miliosis Brack Bronson.
I will not be playing Expedition 33. However, what I do have for you is movie request. If you have not seen Sinners or The Accountant 2, you're wildin', you're bugging, you need to go to the theaters, get your butt in the seats, have some popcorn if you will, maybe a nice drink, make sure it's not too fruity, but still, sit down, watch the movie, have a blast. Other than that, enjoy your times, whether it is you're gaming or watching a movie, or if you're watching this very here show there. That didn't make sense, but either way, hello.
You theoretically could rent a theater and put the streams on.
Milios, I just want you to know, I was about to write you off as a friend, but then you said Sinners, and I was like, oh, he's good.
Damn. That's all it takes. No, I'm kidding.
There's too many games, man. I can't.
It's okay.
The game's gonna be like 50 hours long. I can't.
Bro, you don't have to explain yourself. We're good, brother. We're good.
I will definitely be checking it out at some point, but it's fun seeing the enthusiasm. We're happy to have all of you guys here, and again, congrats on reaching episode 130. How exciting is that? Opening up the stream here, I don't know if we have any super chats, but we do have some memberships here. We have Captain Save a Hobo. Thank you for the 35th month membership. Appreciate you. And then the $20 super chat right after with no note. No comment, just a $20 super chat. Captain Save a Hobo, thank you so much. And then right after another super chat, which I'll get to, we had Captain Save a Hobo with 10 more gifted memberships. We love you, Captain Save a Hobo. Thank you so much. And I do hope you save that hobo, Captain. I don't know. Is that how I'm interpreting that name? Does that sound right with you guys?
You are correct.
Okay, cool. Godspeed, Captain. And then Black Reaper with the $23. Thank you so much. Joe, I really enjoyed the Tower of God tier list. Could you one day do a Towers and Gods tier list? Even a short one. Of course, Vlazer is S tier or his own GOAT tier. So I know that the Discord community has done many tier lists. I have not done one of my own, but we've definitely covered that topic in the server. Maybe you've already seen. It'd be fun. Maybe someday, maybe at some point we'll do a tier list of some kind. I will keep that in mind. Thank you so much, Black Reaper, and I agree with the Vlazer placement. Okay, well, guys, are we ready to hop into episode recap and begin our adventure for today? No more comments?
Aye, Captain.
Captain. Let's just keep up the Captain theme. I like it. Okay. Let's do a little recap here. So, last time on Towers and Gods, Team Recall finished their test. They left Paradigm City after bidding their farewells, and they arrived on floor 92. The administrator of the 91st floor gave them a bit of a shortcut to Avalon, which we discover is Ace's home. It is a grounded floating ship. It's kind of weird saying that. It's no longer it's a ship that's been grounded. It's no longer floating. And the town kind of occupies the ship and just outside the ship. And the Raine family is at essentially the center. We got to meet Ace's parents, Valentine and Nikolas. Nikolas isn't doing so great, as we've heard many times before. And we're going to be starting around this point with Team Recall entering the manor of the Raine family. Did I miss anything? Anything important that I might have missed? Oh, I guess Ace and Hugo got engaged too. I guess maybe that's worth a comment, perhaps. So that happened as well. Yeah, there you go. Okay, we're gonna pick up right there. Let's hop on in. So, as we ended last time, Nikolas kind of out of the blue arrived right at the door. We don't know exactly why. Was it to greet his long-lost daughter, or was it one of his something sudden that no one can explain? Either way, the servants took Nikolas back to his room. So by the time you all enter the manor, And it's a nice manor, but it's also not like, if I was to compare it, it's like a more modest version of the Linquist Manor is like the easiest way I can explain it, where the Linquist was like a mansion, right? This thing had multiple floors. It was wide. This is more modest. There's beautiful red carpeting and portraits hung up. You can only assume, perhaps, of past exploits of the Raine family, people shaking hands, portraits of individuals, and you see rooms off to the sides. But it's 2 floors, and there's a few servants running around here and there, but less than a dozen. And when you enter this kind of entryway, this entry hall, Valentine is looking off into the distance. You can kind of see the back of Nikolas as he's being, taken away, and he kind of fades from view down the hall. And Valentine turns around. And you can tell, despite the... don't worry about that. And despite the incident that took place, you can tell that she is... Amy, where are you? Sorry, Amy, there you go. Woo! Amy was on. There she goes.
What?
There you are, yeah. Despite what happened, she turns around and she smiles for everybody. You can tell that, like, it's taking everything she has to kind of maintain some level of composure and hospitality as she kind of welcomes everybody into her home. And every time her eyes cross over to Ace, the smile just gets wider. And she just kind of does a simple gesture. Welcome to our manor, friends of Lyria. And she turns to kind of look at everybody, and she has a wide smile on her face. Is there anything that you all would like to do as you enter this home? Well,
I think Ace would immediately jump to introductions and point to the team to introduce themselves to her mother.
Perfect. Okay.
Respectfully.
Absolutely. I'm just looking for a song to play here. This is perfect. Yeah, she's looking around. You can tell that, like, she is intrigued by these allies that you have with you. Not that just based on your own experiences, she associates you with Luke. It's been decades, decades and decades and decades. And so seeing you accompanied by, a dozen friends is certainly a lot for her to take in. But not in a bad way. She has a curious smile. Is there anyone that steps forward? There's like a moment where Hugo looks around, and then he realizes he should probably step forward. But you can tell he's a bit like looking down, and it's hard for him to maintain eye contact. But he does step forward. He does like a bow. Hugo, ma'am. He looks over at Ace. Just Hugo. And he kind of steps back. He's like, God damn. And she kind of gives him a look, Does Ace respond in any way to that?
I think she looks like she was gonna say something, like she was gonna add on to that.
Mm-hmm.
And she looks at the rest of the team recall, and she's like, maybe not this moment.
Yeah.
And we'll just kind of give him a nod, like, Hugo, just Hugo. Like, good job.
My good pal.
Yeah. They were roommates. She looks to the next one.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Queen of Hearts. May I call you Queen of Hearts? Lovely establishment you have here. Think you need better help? He just looks over there at Luke. And he goes, but was that your husband that just walked out that room? The sickly man?
A pleasure.
Anyway.
I don't believe I caught your name, good sir.
The name... What name did you want me to give hers? No, Big Boss, I can't give that name. That's for the other floor. The name is Captain B. It's not good. What do you mean that's not good, Big Boss?
Well, Captain, it is a pleasure having you, and indeed, that man is my husband, Nikolas. She looks off where you went off to.
Does he sometimes plunder the booty?
back!
Ignore him.
I didn't say
Come on.
anything wrong. I'm talking about treasure. I'm a captain here.
This is Brack Bronson. He has been a entertaining thorn in my side for a while now. But we love him
I
for
saved
it.
you.
So. Did you?
Pay her no mind, Queen of Hearts. She's been a little rambunctious ever since she's left the crystal. And then he just looks at her and blinks a couple of times because he remembers her still in the jewel from him, his treasure.
She like flips him off behind her back as elegantly as possible.
As you can see there, your daughter does not treat me with the most kindness that I am offering to you. Should your family need any help, Captain B is here.
She just like looks back and forth and back and forth and like just smiles, you know? She can tell
This is
that
only
like
one of them.
there's a history here and she doesn't know. And the mention of the crystal does kind of raise an eyebrow for her, but for now, she just simply smiles. It's good to see that you are so close to my daughter, Brack Bronson.
Close?
Uh-oh.
What do you mean close?
Oh, we've been doxxed, guys. Get out.
And indeed, today is, she looks off, one of Nikolas's better days. But, indeed, you will have plenty of opportunity to spend time with him later, I am sure. And she looks over at Silyeong. She clears her throat and looks to whoever else would like to introduce themselves.
There's quite a few people here. Sorry.
You're gonna notice that like the whole time that they were having that conversation, Wu was like fumbling in the back and yelling at the gourd. And then as soon as that happens, Pigsy pops back out. What's the point of making you master of inventory if you can't even find simple objects timely? And he grabs like a bouquet of flowers from Pigsy's head. Mrs. Raine, do you mind if I call you Madame Valentine?
Oh no.
She kind of cocks her head. I can't say I've been called that before, but I don't particularly mind.
I like nicknames. Sorry. Nice to meet you. My name is Wu. These are for you.
Oh my. She takes the flowers. She sniffs them. They're beautiful. Where did you find such a variety?
I've been storing them since the 54th floor. Great garden. Would love to take you. I mean,
Beautiful flowers, Wu. Thank you
beautiful
so much. My mother appreciates them as she tells you about my father, who is just down the corridor.
I will introduce myself to him as well. I just wanted to let you know that your beauty radiates, and have yourself a wonderful daughter who, and you could tell that he's like lying out of his ass with this one. Like,
yeah, as soon as he says wonderful, she looks at him like,
he's just like, honestly, it's been such a pleasure climbing with her. She's made me a better man, just with her presence alone. And you should be proud of her. We've never once gotten up to any sort of trouble, just because she's been around.
I see. For now, like, with the introduction of Brack and Wu and how, like, shenanigan-y this is, she's just like, you certainly have interesting friends, Lyria. She gives you a wink.
the Hugo line isn't looking so bad now, is it?
Hugo's like, thank God.
Anyway,
It's a pleasure, Wu,
on to the next.
and thank you for the flowers. I can't say I've been to the 54th floor gardens of any kind, so I am intrigued.
I'll get the flowers faster, Pixie. I swear to God, I'm gonna cut you.
I have been raised with manners and the most generous of people. Speaking of, Xion, this would be a great time to introduce one of the more normal members of Recall.
She just, she steps forward, very calm, just kind of like, there's a moment where she just like rolls her eyes and just kind of like, Jin Xion, a pleasure. I have gotten to know your daughter quite well over these past few years. She's very intelligent, and it's been a great honor being her friend, and thank you for having us. This ship is quite amazing. I'd love to know more of some of its inner workings. And she nods. Shion, a pleasure. And she kind of looks at her gauntlets. She kind of like just takes note of it. Indeed. We have a few engineers on this floor. I'd be happy to introduce you if you so wish. And Shion just smiles and steps back. Shion will kind of like look over at Jong as if to say, maybe it makes sense for you to go next if I just went.
Jong kind of has a moment where he was like looking around at the group like, where is all this ass kissing coming from? And he just kind of raises his hand and waves to her. Jong. Kun Jong say.
There's no like, it's not like, oh, he's a coon, you know. But it's certainly just like a, oh my god, get out! None of that. But there is a nod of recognition. And she just simply says, we welcome you, Kun Jong Se, to Avalon. And then instinctively she looks over at Victor. Your brother, I take it.
Genetically.
How could you tell? He puts an arm around Jong. Hey, and then let's go quickly because he
the
knows
arm
what's gonna happen if he lingers too long. It's like a. He gives like a long bow. Kun, Victor, and he winks. A pleasure, Kun Victor. She's like running out of things to say. A pleasure.
Eden will just, like, she's in the back with Inga since Silyeong had stepped forward previously.
Right.
So she's kind of, like, attending to Inga.
Okay.
Hey, I'm Eden, and this is Silyeong's mother, Inga. Kind of stays in the back.
Yeah. Her eyes will linger on Inga and, like, kind of, you can see a look of concern kind of briefly cross her face before she then looks back to you and smiles and nods. How did you introduce yourself? Is it Eden? Is that right?
Yeah, just
Eden, yeah. Okay, yeah. She'll smile and nod. We welcome you to Avalon. And she'll turn back to... Oh, go ahead, yeah. Oh, is there not more? I thought you were saying more. She'll...
No.
She'll turn to Inga and, again, that look of concern. She will probably bring up the subject of, getting her a room at some point. I would say that... Silyeong had stepped forward, but I don't believe I said he, left the group. I think he's still there. Is that right? I don't... yeah, okay. So
he was technically up in the front with Ace, Hugo,
right.
and
I get what you're saying,
Luke has kept us separated. Since we're the parents.
That's right. That's right. He sure did, my boy. He sure did do that. So, yeah, Silyeong will find the opportunity to introduce himself. When she hears the name Lindquist, she'll definitely clock that. I forgot if we introduced him as a Lindquist last episode. Either way, she'll note the Lindquist name, and you can tell that there's a thought that crosses her mind, and not a bad thought, but there's certainly, you can tell that she is aware of the Lindquist family, and she will smile at him. Silyeong, your presence here truly means the world. I want you to know that there is no pressure on you regarding my husband. But your presence and your power is more than welcome. And you can tell there's the tiredness kind of washes over her when she says that. You can tell they've tried dozens of healers, if not more. And he'll nod. Leaf will step forward, introduce herself. Namu Leaf. And you can tell, again, she still has that positive aura from the previous day. You can tell she's intentionally kind of making an effort to act in this way. Not that it doesn't come naturally as well. And she'll smile, introduce herself, and then Leaf will look over at Jiyoon, who she sees has kind of been looking for an opportunity to introduce herself.
Well, if she seemed that way, she's like, and then she kind of steps forward. She was kind of at the back with Ezra because she knows that Team Recall is Team Recall, so she's gonna be like, "Well, and she starts to kind of half bow, kind of very awkwardly, and then she's gonna say, your your ladyship. My name is June, and I'm just tagging along. For a bit. And over there is my friend Ezra. And she kind of like motions him like very awkwardly.
He
Like,
steps
"Save me."
forward. He gives like a little wave, and then like the two cats like hop up onto his shoulders, and he's like, "I hope these are okay," And she just kind of like chuckles. "A pleasure, Ezra and June, and not to worry, we are not allergic. They are more than welcome, of course. As is the pig." She looks over at Wu. Sorry, I don't know if I caught you off guard, Wu. But she clocks the Shinwei that are present and acknowledges that they are more than welcome.
Mother, how could I? Forget, you have not met my son. And she, like, pops out poker.
Her eyes go bug out.
Yeah, she doesn't. She makes sure that she doesn't hold that as long as she probably was going to in her mind, because she's like, that's a bad idea. Yeah, here's my raccoon son, clearly adopted. Mother. This is Poker.
Adopted? I should hope so. She looks at Poker.
Oh.
And she'll get close and kind of bend down. "Hello there, little friend."
Poker gives her his hand and just sagely bows his head before scurrying over to Hugo.
Yeah, I
And-
think sorry if you I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go for it.
I think if he would scurry over to Hugo, I think she would like notice that like there's certainly some kind of something involving that. You all are close, the three of you, and she'll smile. "Well, with that said, I would be more than happy to set you up in our guest rooms. Is there... You can feel free to let our servants know any preferences regarding your arrangements, but we have plenty of room for all of you, and of course we will have dinner tonight, shortly. Silyeong," and he'll step forward. "I would like to see him." Okay. I would like... Yeah, it makes sense. He can see Shinsu, right? I would like to... I would like to care for him, to examine his Shinsu, if that's all right. "Of course." And she will turn back to the rest of the group and say, "I will be with my husband." And she'll motion for the servants to kind of handle everybody else here. "They will have you
Should I come
well
with
taken
you?
care of."
Or would you rather me wait?
You'd be welcome to. You can tell it's like a bit hard, I think, for you to see him like that. I think she there's like a slight hesitancy, but she nods as if to say it's probably for the best if you came as well.
Okay.
I will stay. I will head to my own residence.
No,
If you'll
wait,
excuse me.
You should stay. Here. I mean, you're my right hand after all. And when she says right hand, she looks at him like there are multiple meanings to that.
He will... Fine. Okay.
Besides, if I'm going to be with my parents, I would appreciate if you led the rest of my team to their rooms and arrangements. You know
Right.
the place they don't, and the servants can only handle so much, I'm sure.
Of course. And, he takes over the kind of reins of organizing from whichever servant that she had put in charge of this operation, and he will lead the team up a staircase, up one of the nearby staircases to get them settled in. And Valentine will turn back to you and Silyeong. Eden, Silyeong, obviously trusts you with Inga and trusts that you'll have that well taken care of. And so Valentine will then turn back. "Follow me." And she'll smile and step down the hall with you and Silyeong following behind. Hugo would also want to, he would like kind of walk forward as if to say, should I come? Is it too obvious? Like, what are you thinking? Like, he wants to be with you during this time, but is it maybe too much right now because we haven't like talked about plans?
Yeah, I think when Valentine starts to walk ahead, just enough to where Ace can kind of like fall back for a second.
Yeah.
And without maybe her necessarily noting it. Not that she's trying to hide it, but it's kind of like old habits die hard. And she's definitely feeling it. But she'll kind of slip her hand into his real quick. I'm trusting you to take care of the others while I handle this. Please make sure they don't go too crazy, and if you would rather tell them the news, you have my permission to do so. It's up to you.
Right. Okay, just send me a message if you need me. And he squeezes your hand.
All right, love you. And she runs back.
Okay. Valentine continues walking, and it's a room that's not far from the entrance. It's not far from the basement area where the servants are probably preparing dishes and such. It's definitely an area meant for convenience's sake. And she creaks open the door, and the main thing that you note is how dark the room is. The blinds are all pulled, and the little bit of light that is streaming into the room is more from the candles, if anything else, as you see Nikolas in a very big bed, his eyes closed, the blankets pulled up over him as if he is cold or shivering, but he remains fairly motionless. You just see the slight rise and fall of his chest as he breathes. Two servants remaining in the room, occasionally checking his temperature and the like. That's him. She turns to Silyeong. And again, there is no pressure. And he steps forward, slowly at first, and the servants will kind of like get up out of the chair and allow Silyeong to sit down next to him. He'll breathe in and out slowly. And then he'll reach out and put his hand onto Nikolas's forehead, and he'll close his eyes. And whatever is happening with Silyeong there, you can tell it'll probably take a couple of minutes for him to kind of fully understand what is happening with Nikolas. And so there's a moment of silence, a few minutes of silence in the room. We have much to talk about, says Valentine, and she leans over to you and smiles.
Yes, I'm sorry it took me so long to come back. To be fair, I had no memories of it for a long time.
You've been on an adventure. And she just looks you up and down, sees the muscles, sees the weapon, just like the presence that you have, and she can sense how powerful you are. You're a regular. Climbed much farther than I can tell.
Yeah. I thought I was an orphan for a long time. That's when I met Silyeong. He, like I said before, he saved me. And we've been climbing ever since. Not always together, but the red string keeps us connected. And now I get to watch him try to heal my father. For all the bad that I've experienced, this seems good.
She then turns to Silyeong with this kind of new perspective. red string.
Yeah. I had some in my pocket. Don't know where I got it from. But when I woke from a small incident, I tied one end around my wrist and one around his since he couldn't see, and I didn't want to lose him. And she like raises her arm with the red string. You know, it's tucked under the armor, but it's always there. We haven't taken them off since. No matter what's happened.
She'll hear your words and then smile to herself. One moment. And she'll, like, leave the room for just a few seconds, really. And she kind of hurries back in with a box. I don't know how much you remember, but I am a ribbon dancer. And she'll open like this little chest up, and you can see a variety of different ribbons and strings in her collection, including many that are strikingly similar to the one that you possessed.
They're beautiful. I do remember. When I started to remember things again, you dancing, me, and she looks over to Nikolas briefly. I remember sitting on Father's lap, watching you practice. It seemed like such simple times.
I'm glad. And she'll close the box. To know that even something as simple as a string was accompanying you makes me feel better, I think. That you had something from me.
I'm curious to remember how much I got from you and how much I got from him.
Don't worry. And she puts a hand on your shoulder. On your shoulder. We'll have plenty of time to discuss all that.
Well, and she kind of like, you can tell like Ace is antsy in the way that, you know, normally her movements are loud, you know, chaotic, confident. You know, she's got her own presence, but in this moment she does seem a little smaller.
Yeah.
She definitely isn't as, there's so much she wants to say, but she isn't as talkative as she imagined that she might have been at first. I think she's also kind of dealing with her own, you know, things coming back into focus, as well as, you know, feeling all of the feelings of seeing her father for the first time, her mother, and all the sickness, and it's kind of like jumping into something head first, right?
Yeah.
So she, I think she just kind of like shyly reaches out and holds her mom's hand while watching Silyeong do his work.
She reaches out for her hand, you said, just to confirm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She won't give it any, she'll just immediately, but gently, grab it and caress it as both of you watch on.
She will notice,
Right.
with the hand that she grabbed with, that under the gloves, it doesn't feel
Yeah, I was gonna...
quite as, it feels kind of rigid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She will just momentarily hesitate, but save it for another time as she then continues to still hold on to it, and maybe it confirms something that she had maybe previously noticed, or, you know, and she remains silent. And as they look on, Silyeong will finally, his eyes slowly open. He stands up. He is certainly sick. However, I find no immediate issues with his body. And you can tell he's very confused, very puzzled. It's as if he has all of the right symptoms, and yet I can't find a source. It doesn't make it impossible to mend to a degree, but it certainly makes it... It may take time, he says.
Is it like what we saw in Enderal?
No, I don't believe so. It's as if the source is outside of his body. And you can tell for a moment, like, Valentine, like, almost looks around the room, like, is there something nearby, like, you know, that's, like, affecting him in some way? But then he says, I don't believe it's nearby, per se. Is it everywhere? Is it in a distance? I still can't tell. But what I can say is that your husband's suffering can be... With me here, he is in no more danger, and I can certainly alleviate some of his current suffering while I continue to find a cure. Members of my friends in Team Recall are also healers. I may consult with them as well. And Valentine, like, you can tell that she let herself get a bit of hope up, and it's enough that she smiles in return. Thank you very much, Silyeong. I'm sure you're very tired. Please, anytime you would like to visit, but don't stress yourself, honey. And she'll, like, you know, give him a gentle touch, and he'll smile and nod. I will return later this evening. And, yeah. Any reaction to any of that?
I think Ace will turn to her mother. Is my room still intact? I know that's an odd question to ask. It's been decades. I don't expect it to be, but
Exactly as you left it.
Oh. I'll retire there then for a little bit, if you don't mind.
Of course.
She'll, like, give her mom, like, a slight head bow. She'll look to Silyeong, and she'll grab his hand and kind of quickly pull him away.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she's gonna pull him out into the hall and kind of go for a few minutes. Like, she's on autopilot as she just is, like, traversing through the halls. It's, like, all silent, but their footprints, or their footsteps.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she just abruptly stops for a second. And Silyeong would be able to feel her hands just shaking as she's holding onto his. And her shoulders, it kind of travels up her body.
Hey, you did great. I'm sure this is strange for you. I recently met my mother again, but days ago. Albeit different circumstances.
Ace just... I just need to get this out before the others see me. And she's just, like, wiping her eyes. She, like, lets go of his hand real quick and is wiping her eyes.
Sure.
Oh, it's so weird to see him. I should have come when Luke first told me about them. All of this, if I would have stayed.
No, there was nothing you could have done if you had stayed. If you had rushed back, If you had stayed, you and I would never have met.
That's true. She looks around at the interior, kind of like reminds her kind of like the Beauty and the Beast palace, where
Yeah.
it's like run down, but still beautiful. But it's, you know,
Sure.
there's cracks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
She's trying to, it's like there's flickers of what she remembers as a kid fading in with what she's seeing now, and it's just like,
Yeah.
vroom, 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 vroom. It's kind of lining up, but it's still weird to her. And she just straightens her shoulders. I'm going to do everything I can to deserve the name and to fix this. There's no point in looking back and regretting and blaming. All that we can do is go forward and fix it.
I'll be with you every step of the way.
And she'll give his hand a squeeze, and the tears are drying up. And as they walk a few more steps, she just kind of casually asks him, "Did you know that he was going to ask me to marry him?"
I can't say that I knew. But I don't know if it's the Shinsu or simply intuition. But I had a feeling, let's say. So it's true?
Yeah. It's not been announced yet. But there's gonna be a lot of history being brought up here. And now, and she gives his hand a squeeze. I know that history includes us. I don't want it to be weird or awkward for you.
Not at all. Lyria, I'm so happy for you. When will it be here?
I don't know. It seems kind of selfish to bring it up now. My mother's just met Team Recall, and that's going to take her at least a few hours to recover from.
Probably more.
Yeah, so when the timing's right, I will approach the subject of it, maybe. It would be nice. I would like
Of course.
Hugo to be a Raine.
Wow.
It's
I
the
don't
only thing
know.
I can give him.
I don't know much of the process, but with you being the heir and the diamonds, we'll surely talk more of this later.
I'm sure we'll discuss it later, but let's just say that if you can get my father feeling better, he might have quite the predicament on his hands. And we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Another reason to work even harder then, he says, like resolving himself.
All right. I feel better now. I got it out of my system. You'd be proud of
Good.
me. I didn't bottle it up, and I didn't hit anyone. Okay.
That is a start.
She
Emilios,
just
you were
marches
muted.
forward.
Emilios, we didn't hear that.
What'd you say, Milio? Say it with your chest. Say it with your chest, man.
Yet.
Yeah, okay,
Yes.
yeah.
That is the key word.
It's still on the chopping.
He's
It's
not
still on
wrong.
the schedule. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, meanwhile, you were all introduced to a variety of rooms. It's, I would say there's enough guest rooms for everybody and whatever sleeping arrangements they would like. At least 2 beds in each room, It's like Ruka was describing. Like, this place it's certainly not as it once was. You can tell that, like, whether they just don't have enough help as they used to, or whether certain priorities have been changed. The beds are made. It's beautiful. It's just, you can tell it's a bit run down in certain areas with cracks in the wall and, some dusty windows and the like, unprepared for guests and that kind of thing. But the beds are big. They're nice. And, Victor immediately starts he just lies down to the bed and he kind of bounces up. Oh, this place is awesome. We should have come here sooner. Can we stay for A month? A year? New vacation spot? Acquired?
Vicky, didn't you just get a new position where you are the CEO of Syndicate Cosmetics?
Yeah, but when does that start? You know, I mean, we can start that in a year, right? Right?
I mean, I don't know. You asked for it, and it looks like it started, I don't know, yesterday.
There's no rush, is my point. We can start a business like that at any time.
See, well, you asked me to give him power. I gave him power. Look at what he does with it.
His lack of commitment is disturbing at best.
Okay, I can work from home. You know, remote. We can make that
What do
work.
you think this is? 2020?
Post-COVID.
Also within your home.
Yeah, Luke just gives him a look of like, she almost say, Victor, I don't know if you forgot about this, but we're climbing the tower. He's like, Shion, come on, there's, and then he kind of like looks at Shion again, and you can tell that she like is thinking of her own home that's coming up soon. You're right. No, you're right. Yep. 6 months. Eden, back me up on this. 6 months. 6 months. 6 months.
I just go along with what the team wants, and like she'd just come back from like settling Inga.
Yeah.
But is like has her pocket in there and is like keeping it like monitoring her from
Okay.
afar.
Cool.
Or has a lighthouse in there and she's monitoring from her pocket. Got that?
Yeah.
mixed up. But,
Okay. That's what I'm saying. I'd love to hear your opinion. Well, at least of the place. It rules, right?
I'll taste his home. Of course it does.
True. That's true. Hold on. No, I don't know. I guess so. He has a look of like kind of pride, and he looks up, and you can see he's wearing the headband. Or the yeah.
Eden clocks his new tiara and is like,
The circlet.
Great.
It's a circlet.
Circlet.
costume.
Sorry, I don't know. I couldn't think of the word. Thing you put on your head.
I mean, it
Headband.
could be a tiara. The circlet's just the more masculine form.
I don't think Victor would mind if it was called a tiara, but it is a circlet. It's a circlet. This kind of makes me an honorary, you know? Maybe I get, I could probably pull a few strings here now. He says out of earshot of Luke. Speaking of which, go
I
ahead.
think that's a little too like we just got here.
Okay,
We just like
you're right.
we haven't even established relations.
You're right. Maybe starting tomorrow I can start thinking about that. That's a good point.
I think we'll try to establish relations, but, we're not going
Yeah,
to.
he sure did.
That's not what I would call that. I'm off my game.
Damn.
That's what you would call off your game. Okay. We're going to table that for now.
Yeah,
But-
leave.
Please do. Please. I'm not feeling my best.
Oh no.
In any other situation, Leaf would have tried to woo, but obviously there's kind of still a weird tension there. But at this point, Luke will, he'll just say, all set? Anything else that you might need? Anything else you need to know? Kitchen's in the basement. Dinner will be prepared at the usual time in the evening, 6:30.
Alrighty. I don't want to keep you.
Good sir, Sir Luke. What's on the menu?
Not as much as there used to be.
What do you mean, not as much as there used to be?
We used to have grander meals. I'm sure something grand as can be will be prepared tonight, but our hunters have grown older. Our gatherers fewer. We still have food, but don't expect the luxury you're probably accustomed to.
Well, we could help with that. Brack, I know you've got at least like 19,000 cases of strawberry water somewhere. Not that that's food, but I mean, if you need help hunting, I mean, we're a group of regulars. We're pretty fit for the job.
I have food, I have drink.
You did acquire a new franchise that has food.
That's true.
Just
Deal
know I have
Mart.
food and I have drink, just in case you need it. But what do you mean your hunters are old and your gatherers are weary? What is this? Ace, are you broke?
Ace is not. Lyria is not
Brack?
here at the moment. The entire point of us
Shiver down your
returning
spine,
here-
Brack.
I actually think when Luke hears that, he would like instinctively like start to like but then he kind of like hangs his head a bit as he knows that he is to blame for a lot of this, and he'll just, if there's nothing else, if you'll excuse me, and he'll kind of like do a short little bow.
Actually, I got a question for you. Ace's dad. What's wrong with him?
If we knew that, then he wouldn't be sick. We've
No. I'm not asking for the professional medical opinion. I'm asking you, what do you think is wrong with him?
Every doctor that we've had, every healer that's examined him, has said they can't find anything wrong with his body. However, his symptoms are clear. He struggles in the sunlight. He is weak. He hardly ever talks. And when he does, it's strange. Mumblings, usually. Incoherent.
Have you fed him blood? Sounds like vampirism to me. No? Am I the only one?
Is that a thing?
Jude's like, you're not wrong. He just glares at you, like in the fairy tales. What are you, a Pegasus?
Don't give him that much credit.
What? Have you know I'm not a
Shion's
Pegasus. I
true,
am
he's a
sea
troll.
monster.
He's a troll under the bridge, taking the tolls of everyone that passes by.
Did the tiger
Luke
speak?
has a heel.
Oh no.
Anyway,
Mechanics.
whenever you need help, just rely on Daddy D. I'll be here to help you.
You can't say that, Brack.
Why can't I say that? I told the kids to
Because
call me that.
that's
He's
weird.
a kid.
Whoa.
No. Let's be slightly respectful.
What?
I
Hold on,
thought you were a
above the table,
captain,
did I-
right? Captain?
Above the table, I remembered what I had said last week, and so I was
Okay.
just going off of that.
You were Daddy
Oh,
Morbucks last week.
Yeah.
You were a daddy
Ah.
Morbuck.
Oh,
Okay,
Daddy M.
all right.
There we go. I forgot.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's
Okay,
much better than
that's
Daddy D.
yes, a little bit better, I think, especially in that context. Yeah, Let's go with that.
That's what I was going for the
Yeah.
acronym. Yeah.
I'm with you.
Okay.
Does that satisfy
Luke, I
your-
totally
oh,
understand if you never come back here again.
Thank you. He's just like straight faced, like, thank you.
Just like
looks
pat him
at
on the
Luke.
shoulder.
And Jill looks at Luke and then she's gonna say, "So you do have a sense of humor." And see how he responds.
He'll
just to get a
glare at you.
reaction. Huh.
Just like,
She glares
why?
back.
Okay, great. He'll turn away from Jude, and Ezra will be, chuckling in the background, kind of giggling in support of you. Does that satisfy your curiosity, Joe?
For now.
Well, with that said, I'm going to retire to my room. Have a good afternoon. And he'll give a short little bow, and then start to leave.
If you need us for anything, let us know.
He'll nod. Oh, finally, we can actually relax. And he stretches on the bed. The largest throat clear of all time from Hugo. Can I,
Yes, Big H.
Yeah.
can I have everyone's attention, please?
Why did your voice get weak, Big H?
He was gonna be smiling softly,
He'll look towards the door as if like maybe Ace will show up any second to save him, but no help arrives.
Pink Demon can't help you now.
there's something you all should know. Ace and I are serious. Victor's like, cool, great, you know. And
No.
we
It's more than serious, guys. Go ahead, Big H.
he looks at you like, what? Come on. We are going to be getting married.
Yeah,
I knew it.
I mean, no, that's crazy, Hugo. We didn't know.
Hey, you beat Zhang and Xion. Congratulations.
He didn't.
It's not a competition.
God.
I mean, to be fair, it kind of
not-
is. And they've
she's
been
not.
together much shorter than y'all. You know,
To
like,
be
was
fair,
it-
it's not a competition.
Nobody's competing. We're just looking at the timetables here. Okay.
How about
So-
you look at your own timetable there?
Oh.
How about you? You know what? If this is what we're gonna start doing, John. All right, bro.
You started it, Mr.
Uh-oh.
Raine.
Keep that same energy when I come for you. Shion,
Do I
my
need to call
apologies in
Newlug back?
advance. If you catch some random strays from now on, it's not my fault. Your
Damn.
boyfriend did this, okay?
Okay. Maybe I need to call Mr. Newlug back. But more importantly, if we
Gramps
don't
is
round
gone,
each
he's
other,
not coming
we're
back.
ill.
I'm
So
free to do
you
whatever I
say.
want.
So you say. I feel him sneezing
Hey,
in the town
Gramps!
somewhere.
You're old. You smell bad.
Oh golly.
Hold on. Wait.
Hugo's like,
See?
no.
No action.
Hugo, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You picked a good one.
Thank you. Appreciate. You know, Leaf will go up and give him like a big hug, like, oh my god, that's so exciting.
You know, also be like, finally making an honest woman out of her, and you know, Poker will finally have his dad. I'm so proud.
Yeah, right.
Uh-huh.
That's true, I suppose. Although, is Poker in the room, or is Poker with Ace? Poker's in the room.
Is Poker here in the room with
Poker, he'll like
Oh, he's
pet
just been in the
Poker.
corner, you know?
He'll pet Poker. He'll go over and pet. He's just in the corner.
Yeah. He's got himself a little cushion, and he's just sitting
Stand
there
stuff.
living in his kingdom.
Yeah.
Mother foretold of this day. He is just, as his father approaches and pets him.
That makes it so much funnier.
Yeah, already
As
bad.
his father stoops down to pet his head, he's just like, yes.
Yes.
The future.
Yeah, Poker's on some like Godfather energy in that.
Yeah.
Literally.
He's like, Hugo, you do this on the day today of all days.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. He's just like the finger taps, you know?
Yeah, oh, for sure, 100%.
His vest hanging on for dear life.
It'll pop open the inventory on her pocket and throw him a cherry tart.
Catches
Does
it
it
with
catch
one
it?
hand.
Mm-hmm. Good boy.
Starts nibbling on it. The jacket cries out.
Oh shoot! Every bite is.
The little diamonds, man. The bedazzled, you know. It's all just trails. And yeah, he'll let Hugo, you know, pet his head. He just like acknowledges him.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
Sure,
the tables
sure.
have been turned a little bit.
Yeah, right. But you can tell Hugo is happy, and we don't have any more details for now. I will definitely be figuring that out in the days to come.
Look, in all seriousness, Hugo, I'm proud of you, buddy. Just know, she chose you, and you chose her. And you both deserve each other. And I mean that with all my heart. Don't
you.
falter now, okay?
Don't
The
worry.
biggest trials are ahead. But we all got your back, and we support you.
Thank you. It's still hard to believe. Honestly, I owe so much to all of you. After yesterday's test, I've come to many realizations, and one of them is none of this would have happened if you all hadn't accepted my request to join all of you, and it truly means the world to me. Thank you.
Goes both ways. None of us would be here if you didn't decide to join us.
Yeah, dude. You've been great. It's, can't imagine this team without you, man. Gives him a fist bump. Excited. How are the, how's the wedding party shaping up to be, huh? He elbows him.
Enough with the wedding party, Vicky. Big H. There was a conversation that we had not too long ago. I'm pretty sure you remember.
Oh.
Who's your best man?
Oh no.
I believe I had said...
We're all here. Among family and friends.
He sees all the dudes in the room.
Vying for
You
position.
can do it.
I will say that when Hugo did say like allowed him to join the team, she does look a little embarrassed because she was the only person that like voted against him back in the workshop. So
Oh,
there's
that's
a little bit of
true.
like, oh, I'm glad I was wrong, but she
Oh
doesn't.
yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah. He will look around the room. Now that there's more people involved in this, you know, and he's like looking around. Well, I did give it some thought, and we don't know when this will be, but of course, all of you will be involved in some way. You're all an intrinsic part of our lives. But
Nice deflection there, Big H. I believe the pink demon has taught you well.
I wasn't done.
But you didn't answer the question.
You, Brack. Can you be my best man?
Me? Me, and Brack turns to Wu and says this in his ear. Me? Why?
And for the first, like, normally
Pretty
anything
big.
Brack says to Wu, he'll like entertain. This is the first time Wu rolls his eyes at Brack in their entire climb, bro. He's like, yeah, okay.
But it doesn't. Brack. Yeah. Without you, there would be no surviving that labyrinth. And ever since, it's been fun. You're a great friend. All of you. And he turns to everyone else in the room. I would say around this point is when Ace and Silyeong would be returning.
As that's happening though, Wu turns to Race. You know, a Brack Bronson bachelor party might go crazy. And I just give him a little fist bump.
Yeah, you know Race is already cooking.
Yeah, and that's before they come. June's just gonna go real quick to Hugo and kind of like slap him at the back, saying, "Oh, am I? Wait.
We're back.
Oh, I thought.
Race Felger crashed the stream, but we're
shoot.
chilling. We're good now.
Okay, I thought I was frozen.
Nope.
Much wrong.
Okay.
You're good.
Okay.
Too much
okay.
frog.
So, okay. So she just pats him on the back, and then she says, "Good job," kind of like in a low voice.
Thank you very much for your help. It made things a lot easier.
Yes. I hope you liked the wine.
It,
She's still like wiggling her eyebrows.
he's still getting used to this side of G's. Yeah, it was delicious. Thank you. He's like a little bit intimidated now by G. Oh man, she's kind of scary when she's like this.
She's just gonna go back.
Yeah. But Ace and Silyeong enter the room, and Silyeong will first thing he does is go over to Eden. How is she?
She's resting. So like show, or well, actually, never mind. But she's here. I'll take you to her room.
Okay. He just smiles at the arrangement and how well taken care of she is. Thank you, Eden. You could tell he's a bit
No problem.
tired.
Can I get some rest, kiddo?
Sure thing. Wake me when dinner is ready.
You got
And
it.
afterward, I will see to Nikolas again.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Get some good rest.
Thank you. When Ace returns to the room, is there any other convos or what else? What is there? What would people react when Ace enters the room? Hugo kind of he just straightens up a little bit, like, hi.
I'm just staring at her with this craziest smirk possible. I'm not even saying anything. I was like,
I think Ace enters the room, and she had, like, prepared herself to get back into the fray. So there's no, like, lingering emotion of what she was feeling in the hallway.
Okay.
But she kind of, like, looks around, sees Wu looking at her. You good there? Wu?
your hand looking a little heavy, isn't it?
Which one?
Okay.
I'm messing with
okay.
you. Yeah, look at it. I think she immediately like, yeah, she like
yeah,
she
I was
she
like, we're not gonna play this game.
Yeah.
yeah, you know it,
My
and
man
she
did a great
yeah.
job, actually. I'm happy
Carved
for
it
you.
himself.
And Wu
Thank
gives Ace a
you.
hug.
Not that it.
She hugs him back, and then leans in his ear and whispers, "Nice flowers, by the way." And pulls back with this grin and the crazy look in her eyes.
So I'm off my game. So what? This is about your moment, not my fumbles. Okay?
Oh. True. I guess if you're gonna flirt with my mom, you might as well bring your A game, Wu.
Well, now that you're taken, you can't flirt with my dad anymore, so maybe I'll fall back altogether.
I have no interest in Zushi. He already has his own pink-haired partner.
Oh, he's been
That
fumbling
slot was
back.
filled,
No, he's definitely been fumbling.
and that was
back.
like 60 years ago, and I wanted his tech, okay? It's not the same. she like-
Flirting is flirting. I'm just saying. All innocent.
Okay. Sure. And she like has her hand up and it's like, sure. with the ring hand, and she like saunters back over to Hugo and just like lays it on his shoulder. And it's like, like I'm flirting. Look at me flirt.
Gonna overheat the man. He's had a rough day.
Aiden will come back in the room from escorting Silyeong.
Okay.
She's like, well, diamonds are made the best under pressure.
Oh, good one.
It's true.
We're
Aiden will
excited.
give Ace a big hug and congratulations.
Oh, I'm glad he was able to tell you. We didn't want to spring it up on everyone. It's just been super busy. And of course, you'd be
I
like my maid of
understand.
honor, right? Like that's such a simple question. Who would need to hesitate on knowing who their maids of honors would be? Yeah. So I mean, you
It'd
cool
be
with
my
that?
honor. Absolutely.
Awesome. And then we got Xion and Leaf, and I mean, since Yoon's here, we're all in this together, so we might as well make it a party.
Oh, that means I get to plan. Eden gets like a glimmer in her eye.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, here's the thing. You guys know about it. But that's about it.
Oh, you didn't.
My
Oh.
mother has not been informed, neither obviously has my father. And she like turns to everyone. I've told you all this before, maybe not all of you, June being a newer addition, Ezra. But the reason that I left this place to begin with, obviously, if you've both seen my parents, it was no fault of theirs. I had originally left because I had heard some of my father's business dealings when I was little that involved arranging a marriage for me with someone associated with the 10 great families. And I didn't want to leave my parents. I didn't want to leave my life. And so I thought that if I ran away and struck out on my own and brought back the treasure, that I wouldn't have to. I could stay with my parents, and we could live together forever. Little did I know, at the time, how poorly that would work out. But all that to say, the topic of marriage, will have to be eased into. I don't know what remains of any of that. You know, so just discretion, if possible, just until I have a chance to breach it myself.
Are you saying? Go ahead, Jong. Sorry.
Do you think your mother doesn't know you're engaged?
I think she knows that I'm soft on someone. I don't think she knows the severity of our...
I mean, the two of you guys are wearing wedding rings, no?
I think you are
Well, I
guessing
am.
in your perception.
I'm
saw it.
wearing a wedding
I
band.
know.
Hugo doesn't have one yet.
We all saw it beforehand, just so you know. So, if we saw it, your mother.
I'm
hasn't
just
seen
saying,
you.
I think a married woman might be a little more perceptive of a wedding ring. Maybe. I don't know.
I'm sure you're right. She may have her suspicions. She probably does. It's my mother, but until it's confirmed, I would just like to keep it a little bit more on the down low.
Fair enough.
You know, boyfriend is different than fiance. Fiance is different than husband. So
Leaf just chimes in. You know, it's been decades, right? I'm sure all that stuff has fallen through by now.
oh, I'm sure. There's a lot I don't know.
Of course. Yeah.
Eden raises a little bit of an eyebrow. Well, I understand your plight. And if you need help eloping, and pray to Jahad in the tower that the contract isn't still valid, we can make things happen. But only in your own time.
It's
Is there a...
not...
Sorry, is there like a hint of personal experience from Eden there in terms of...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's kind of speaking from a... Yeah.
She too was in an arranged marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's not bringing up past.
oh.
Yeah.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
She knows Ace would clock what she meant.
Yeah. But I think Ace, you know, just kind of... It's not that big of a deal right now. There's a lot happening. Obviously, I'm really excited for it. But if there can be a little less chaos, at least until I have the chance to broach it first, then it's one of the things that I would just appreciate no lewd comments about.
What?
Above the table, my bad.
Oh no, that was perfect. Above table, you're good. In game, for now, until it's officially announced, and then go crazy.
Right.
Ace is like,
Keep it on the
you
down
know,
low.
until mother knows officially.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe don't be like, hey, yo, Ace, who you sharing a bed with? She's like, that might be a bit much. So,
Could be.
you know, he's into it.
Well, we're with you. We're with you guys, all right? So, anything you need, just ask.
Thank you, Victor.
Of course. And if you need me to do anything as, you know, kind of... Listen, I my services, you know that I'm here, is what I'm trying to say.
I appreciate it. Well, since I'm going to be running around super busy, and since you are honorary, she like taps her head. She goes over to Poker, who's on the cushion, lifts up the cushion, and ceremoniously puts it in Victor's hands. You are now in charge of keeping Poker out of trouble while we are here.
No,
You are his
listen.
uncle now. As a good friend of mine, since you said you would help with anything, and he's basically a toddler. Thank you, Victor, so much. Kiss, kiss. Mwah.
He is like rigid, you know, holding this bed with this raccoon.
Poker's just sagely on top of it, like he's gonna mess this up.
Okay.
They'll just sit there.
You can do this, Victor.
Good luck.
You can do this. If I'm his uncle, does that mean Jong is too? That's how it works, right?
No.
Yes, but Jong doesn't have the circlet. He's not qualified. Only a Raine.
Damn it.
You
I understand. Thank
yeah.
you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, have fun, Poker.
Good
Mwah.
luck, Vicky.
When he takes off the circlet.
Yeah, next day. No. After, go ahead. Do you have something to say?
Oh, I was just gonna say when
Yeah.
Brack sees Victor with holding poker, he just goes, the Syndicate Kennel, Sink Canal. Yeah, whoa, idea. And Vicky's gonna run it.
How many?
What is it this time?
A kennel for anima.
Shinwei.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
You
anima too. Someone be reckless and wild.
I'll say you can lock up some of the
Yeah,
animals.
just like, bunch of Shinwei and then some anima.
hold on.
Yeah.
This is a free trial, okay? You better not charging me for this.
You'll just need to build a large cage, like a really
Why?
large cage.
Why would you think?
Sounds like a whole
that I'd
plot
be
line.
okay with this idea?
What do you mean?
Oh, that's
It'd be a nice place for the animals to go out there and just frolic, or the Shinwei to go out there and just frolic. Have some nice pastured lands. But this would only work
Maybe
with
make a nest.
your help. We would need to have to figure out how your gourd works so
Well,
that we
if
can
we're
create
gonna-
random.
if we're gonna do that, there is no offense, Victor. There's no way I'm letting him be in charge of that.
But
good. I never asked.
And I know you wouldn't want to. You know what? I'll think on this. My knee-jerk reaction is absolutely not. But if we can get the right people involved, and the Shinoi will be taken care of appropriately, I'll do it. You know what? Talk to Stexa about it. If she's willing to help, we can run it.
you'll never agree. Practice.
On you?
I would say at some point during all of this, there is going to be a knock on the door, and a servant will kind of pop their head in. Lyria? Raine? Your mother wished to speak with you.
Oh, thank you. I will be right out.
Like, shoot a look at Ace of like, where did that come from?
You know that annoying voice that I always pulled out when I was nervous? I think I know the origins. No. It's been a while though. I'll probably fall out of it. I'm fighting for my life here, Eden.
Hey, lean into it. Maybe that's just you.
I don't think I don't know. Okay. I am being summoned. And she looks at Eden. Make sure your friend as grandmama, as a grandmother, my first request, make sure that Poker doesn't get abandoned by his keeper. Second request, don't let them go to my room. Thank you. And she'll
Where is your room?
dip. It's probably best that I don't. 2 halls down the right. I swear to God, guard it with your life. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
And she'll go.
Okay, perfect. So...
Above the table, boys, we go on a dire infiltration mission.
Oh,
okay?
no!
100% there is one. Be my guest. Oh, I prepare for you. I
Oh,
prepare for
no.
you. You don't have to, but if you do, I'm fine. This is fine, Joe. Don't panic. You're fine.
Oh, it's booby trapped? Okay. I'll keep that.
It would be funny if there were traps.
That'd be funny.
Think of 10-year-old Ace. What do you think?
Of course.
So
There's still a pie machine in there.
Yeah. So the servant leads you down the hall, a different hall this time, assumedly to the actual like master bedroom, rather than where Nikolas is currently staying. And while walking down the hall, you hear armor clanking, like a heavy like clank, and you see like kind of passing you is someone. A little bit shorter than Nikolas, but a little taller than you. Maybe 6'9", something like that. We could say 6'8", and someone fully in complete armor, like brass armor, like stepping down the hallway, and then they kind of like stop and like bow as the servant, without stopping, like leads you, past the giant figure in the armor, and then you hear the clanking continuing behind you. and the servant leads you to the bigger stores you've seen for any of the bedrooms so far, with some intricate details. You can make out the symbols of the Raine family etched into the doors, despite its age. And you're left in front of these doors.
With the person clanking, is there any chance Ace's old memories would have been triggered? Is it someone she knows, or
You
just
know,
random?
I think there is something about the armor that actually roll history for me. Oh, that's any chance we can use to roll history. You know what I mean? It's not exactly the
Let's
most
go.
common.
History is weak for me. 14. That's not terrible.
14, yeah. So what I'll say is that the armor itself does kind of carry this resemblance in your mind. You struggle to place a face and to place an exact image, but there is certainly some kind of remembering of the color of the armor. Again, it's kind of like brass coloring and just the general vibe of the figure. So it's not completely out of the blue.
Okay. Ace will knock.
And you just hear, "Come in."
And she'll go in.
Yeah, you're greeted by a beautiful room. That's the wrong music. You're greeted by yeah. Oh God. It's a beautiful room with a large bed and a canopy of red and pink colors blending together, and tall windows. These ones open to allow the light into the room. You can tell the bed hasn't been used in quite a long time. But you see Valentine dancing in front of the bed, and the ribbons flowing, her serenity. You can tell that even it's not a show for her. It's a form of relief for her, a kind of place she can go to kind of reconfigure, and a place that she can, like a safe place she can kind of go to. And in this moment, she is just, the definition of elegance and serenity as she moves fluidly like water. Is there any immediate reaction while she's dancing from Ace?
I think Ace is kind of just transported back to when she was little. The awe and the admiration of her mother when she dances and, moves the way that she does. There's definitely an admiration there. And Ace thinks back to when she did make the decision to find out who she was like, or who she looked like, who her parents were. I think her previous self would have loved to have a moment like this. And so the fact that she's getting it now, where she's literally staring into this image, feels very full circle. So she just kind of watches and doesn't interrupt.
Valentine continues, slowing down as the dance approaches its end, but not losing any of the fluidity, until finally her figure stops and the ribbons kind of flow and then fall to the ground. And then she'll look up at you. And she'll slowly walk over and pull you into another hug. A close hug. And she holds you tight without saying anything.
You've not lost your touch. You're as beautiful now as you were then.
I don't do it as often as I'd like, but when I do, it's healing. But today has been an amazing day. And she'll let go and look at you close, your face close to yours. Well, you've seen one of my hobbies. Shall I tell your fortune now? And she'll wink as if joking.
Actually, I do fortunes too.
Really?
I have a whole persona, actually. We have a beach house in the Premonisi, and I go by Madame Fortune. I dress in all sparkly blues, veils, and I either tell the truth or I con a lot of people out of their good money.
Madame Fortune, she says, like proudly, you know, like, wow. Is that where the Madame Valentine came from earlier, from one of your friends?
I don't know where any of that was coming from. But maybe, in good faith,
The
sure.
heart. It was coming from the heart.
It came from the heart, Mom.
sincere.
They're all a bit odd, but they're supportive.
She laughs. Well, come. And she like sits down at the nearby little table for two, and there's like tea waiting, and she starts pouring some. We have much to talk about, whatever you're comfortable with, of course. I'd love to hear of your adventure, of anything that you wish to share.
You will probably have to ask me some questions. It's been many, many, many years. And I'm not quite sure what you would want to know, or what you would rather not.
She like lingers. I wish to know whatever you're comfortable with sharing. And sorry, I apologize if this is sudden. But
No need to
I don't want to
apologize.
waste this moment. I always knew you were out there, and it's like a dream come true. To hear your stories would mean everything.
Well, I guess I can tell you one that branches out into many. When I got separated from Luke, my second life began. I didn't have any memories. I didn't know who I was. Only that there was one person I wanted to live for. One person that I would do anything for. And I followed that string until it led me into a labyrinth. And the string, for a time, was severed. The labyrinth was dark. But I was introduced to new lights. Some in the form of the friends you saw today. I was guided out of the labyrinth, and one string turned to many. And I enjoyed it for a time, until I was presented with a choice. And once again, the strings were severed, and I went into one of the darkest places that I think that I've ever been. My identity was even more lost than before. I couldn't see, I didn't speak. And for a long time I thought that was perhaps the end of it. Until one day I decided to look into a mirror. And I decided that maybe there was more to me than the strings that had pulled me together. Maybe there should be a reason that I live. A reason that I continue to climb and travel, and I started thinking maybe I can start asking myself questions like, what's my hair color from? Did I have a name? Little things that you don't realize how important they can be to keep someone going. So, I shattered the prison I was in, the dark space. And I freed myself, and I refound those strings. And I wrapped them around my hand, and I held them tight, and I have not let them go since. And they've only gotten stronger. And they led me to you.
She listens intently and actively to every word. It sounds as if you were truly blessed in your climb. Each
That's
and
one
every
way to
member
put
of
it.
them that has guided you here, back home.
Well, now I know that I have your hair color. I had father's hair color at one point.
You dyed it. His color.
Many times. It was a long search to find out who I was when I didn't have memories to piece from. I have been broken by multiple sources, and I've fought far too hard to figure out who I am to lose it now. This seems like the final piece. Final piece in the foundation that I probably should have had. But there's no point in wishing what was and what wasn't. Silyeong taught me a lot of these things.
Her eyes will glance over to your hand. And then she'll look back up. I'm sorry that you struggled. The pain you must have experienced. You can see a bit of guilt kind of wash over her. But I can already tell, looking at you now. You've grown so much, and I'm so... I don't believe it's too soon to say that I can already say that I'm so proud of you for all of it, for who you've become.
I wasn't anyone to be proud of in the beginning. But
That's
I can
not
say
true, Lyria. Don't say that. You were a precious
I won't.
child. You don't
Ace
know
will
how
look
much
at her.
happiness you brought to us.
Maybe it's because my first memories were of Luke. And
Oh, you two. You did cause you a fair amount of trouble, don't get me wrong. Especially together. An unstoppable little duo.
see, I knew he liked me. Always us so distant, like we weren't friends.
Oh, when you were gone, you were all he could ever talk about.
Really? That's nice information
He
that I
tried-
totally will not use against him later.
He made it, for many years, his life goal to find you. If there's one thing you can be sure of in this world and in our family, it is that Luke admires you, even if he won't admit it. You...
I suppose he did run away with me. That was a rather big commitment at 10 years old.
No, and she kind of leans forward. Before you tell your next story, if you don't mind me asking, which one is it?
Which one is what?
Which one? And her eyes dart down to your hand. Which one do you perhaps have a closer relationship with?
Six
Well,
cents,
you know
mamas,
me.
let's go.
I think it would be more fun, and maybe slightly distressing, but a little more fun, why not? If you give me your guesses.
It's the red-haired one,
why?
isn't it?
Who?
The dark red hair? Tall, handsome, broad-shouldered. Quiet as a mouse.
Who was your runner-up, though? That's a bit concerning.
Them brains got it tight.
I think she just looked at the other crazy ones and was like, "Oh hell no, it can't be." Any of those crazy ones."
Well, it was quite easy to narrow down the list. For a moment, I had considered the green-haired one, but after hearing your words, I could tell that your feelings were different for the taller one.
What can I say, Mom? was a slow burn, a long hunt. But in the end, you are correct. It would be that one.
She smiles.
Yeah,
Well, I'll
it's all
have to
Ace
get
is, like,
to know him
definitely a little-
better. Yeah.
Yeah, like red in the face a bit. Like,
Yeah.
well, I was thinking that was gonna be a little more
Mhm.
prolonged, but since you know me, that makes sense. He's like not used to being perceived by a parental
Right.
figure.
Right.
Jong was right. You were right, Jong. But yeah, she just kind of like looks at her and nods. Hugo, just Hugo, is
Just Hugo.
the one that I am in a closer relationship with, you could say, yes.
Well, then I'll have to get to know him better, she says, almost like slightly in a like a interesting, you know.
Good luck. He's not a talker.
Oh, don't worry. I'm sure it'll be just fine. Now, this does
She
pose...
like has like a twinkle in her
Yeah.
eye, like, you're my mother, I love you. You're terrifying. This is amazing. I see where I get it from. Teach me your ways. So yeah, the sparkles returned.
And she kind of, well, this may be somewhat awkward.
How so?
At some point, I'm sure Luke has informed you that our finances haven't exactly been in the finest of conditions over the years, with us paying for doctors to come and visit, and us needing to out-resource for things as simple as food and upkeep. It's been difficult. So, we made contact recently, with a previous potential connection to our family. Your old betrothed. He's actually here in Avalon as we speak.
Oh, that's we're funny, aren't we? That's the good mother. You're serious?
Don't worry, the betrothal has long since been cancelled. No contract's been signed. It was simply
So
a gesture to see if he wished to collaborate with our family going forward. In some way.
so it's just this random man walking around who knows that they were betrothed to your deceased daughter at one point, and you were like, let's extend the invitation?
I don't believe he was aware of the betrothal, but after reaching out to his parents, we were able to invite him to our location here, and he was happy to arrive. To be honest, I don't believe he even
And
knew
he's-
much of our family to begin with.
And he's... Is he... What's...
The
Where is he
Lopobia
from,
family. The Lopobia family, yes.
The Lopobia family! Oh, that's fantastic. We know a Lopobia, the one that gave you flowers.
Ah,
That's a Lopobia. Yes, yes,
I see.
so...
In name
Is
only.
he's not staying in... He's not staying in the manor, is he?
Oh, he is indeed. Would you like to meet
Yes,
him?
indeed. Yes, I would love that. Because now I have to figure out how to deal with him. So please, yes.
She kind of smiles knowingly as she's saying all this, as if she kind of knows something that maybe you don't. And
Oh, I love it.
she kind of rounds the corner, kind of grabbing you by the hand and leading you down the hall. Now be careful.
Just dread.
He doesn't bite. He looks scarier than he actually is.
Mother, your words of comfort are not comforting whatsoever. What do you mean bite? Is he a piranha? Is he just an animal of some sort?
She stops in front of a door.
Baby shark.
He's a
I
coon.
swear to God, if it's Coon Solo, I am coming over there, bro. And I am going
There might
like
be
this.
problems. she like
I want it to be the
opens
snake eye.
she kind of pushes open the door, and you just hear a voice coming from within, like, "No, honestly, I'm fine. Everything's fine. I already took a bath. I'm full, honestly." And you see,
Oh, no way.
Yes!
No way.
And it
Ace
comes
just-
full circle. I love it.
Walks right back out of the. I'm just kidding. No, just like a turn. No, he just stands there. Oh, that's cool. So who is it?
who are you saying this
Hang
like
out to see Taki.
she hasn't looked? Oh, I see. Pretending
Yeah,
you said?
she's just kind of like she walks in and she's like, I feel like she's like not actually looking. Like there's like I'm pretending not to see
Uh-huh.
whoever's in front of me right now.
Yeah. Ace? He kind of like stands up.
Slight eye twitch.
Ace? Mrs. Raine. Mrs. Raine. Hi, Mrs. Raine. Raine? Like,
Congratulations, Taki. I see you've met my mother.
I think I gotta go. And he like starts to dash
Oh,
out of the
no,
room
no, no,
at his
no.
top buddy speed.
Oh, no, Taki. You made yourself comfortable in my family home. And at one point, she approaches him very slowly, very Ace, as she just puts her hands on both sides of his jacket and slowly draws him in. Isn't fate a funny thing? Isn't fate so funny? That in some lifetime, you would have been my husband. And like lets him go, and it's just like,
He's like red as a beet. And Valentine is just like chuckling in the background.
mother.
Oh, how would I have known? She like smirks.
Insight check.
I actually think this is a pretty good place to take our break with all of this happening here. So we're gonna go ahead and
We
cut
cannot
to
let
our
Team Recall know.
cut to our meme reel. That's it. No, we'll see. We're gonna take our meme reel. Don't go anywhere. Enjoy the memes. Enjoy the fan art. I do want to give a huge shout out to Telephoto Leak for the 50 gifted memberships during that segment. Thank you so much. That is insane. I just kept looking at the chat and it was more and more and more. And I was like, what is happening? Thank you so much for your support there. Sincerely. Okay, guys, we're going to be right back. Enjoy the meme reel. BRB! Oh my goodness, it's so good to see you. Thank you for being here. Thank you all so much for the memes and fan art. You guys are great. It's always super fun seeing all that stuff in there and seeing some old familiar faces popping up and sometimes, you know, contributing to the meme reel. It's always great to see. So thank you all so much for your support. We're gonna get right back into things. So, you know, Valentine is kind of giggling while this situation is happening. Taki is red, doesn't really know what to say or what to do. He's just kind of cornered. He's a rabbit backed into a corner, you know?
Okay, before chat said during the meme rail that be careful because rabbits can die from fear. And now I'm...
Uh-oh.
Don't die, Taki! Oh, no. Ace just kind of looks at him. How did you know it wasn't me?
How was I supposed to know?
Who did you know one person named Lyria. One.
Well, I didn't know for sure because it was complicated. I
Look
didn't
at my
realize it was
mother.
you. Like,
Do
He
we not have
looks-
some resemblance?
she smiles. You know, I'm bad with that kind of thing. I'm more, you know, sight isn't really my thing. I'm not exactly known for picking apart faces. So, forgive me for that one. And she chuckles again. In fairness, it could have been from a handful of candidates, but between us, Taki was my favorite. She smiles again.
He's just kind of like... She makes this face where she was like, he was my favorite too. Great. She's not happy about it, but she looks at him again. I guess you can join us for dinner, Taki.
Wait, no. We don't have to be engaged anymore.
Anyway, you think we're engaged now?
No, I'm saying that you're inviting me to dinner, right? So what I'm saying is no, you don't have to.
Not like as a date.
Oh. Okay.
You would have
We're
said
good.
no?
No, well,
She, like, puts
I
her
mean,
hands on her hips.
well, no. What I'm saying is you didn't feel it. Don't feel pressured to. Not that I would have said no, but I would have said no because of.
I'm messing with you, Taki.
Okay.
Yeah, just I had to get it out of my system. She like kind of gives him like we'll walk up to him and give him like a side hug.
Yeah. Hey.
Esque.
Woo.
You're so tense. Whatever. I'm shocked because again, and she like looks between him and her mother. If I didn't believe in fate, I certainly would now. The fact that it's you of all people. And you're the reason I'm half as nice as I am after the whole labyrinth thing. I saved your life, by the way.
You did. Mrs. Raine, she took a bunch of shards to the back for me. She saved my life. She did. She sure did.
She saved my life, she did.
She did.
He got Irish real
Yeah.
Yeah.
She sure saved me, she did.
Yeah, I saved your life. You gave me good perspective. We'll call it even. We don't have to get married. You're welcome.
Okay. Again, it's not like I don't want to. Wouldn't.
No, it's you weren't fast enough, Taki. I'm taken.
Speaking of which, dinner will be prepared very shortly. So.
You're
Meet
gonna
us.
have a fun time telling Hugo that you were my betrothed. Good luck, soldier.
I'm the one that's gonna tell him that? Isn't that your
Yeah.
job?
Have you seen his hammer?
Hey,
I'll
yo.
make you do it.
Okay, I'm glad.
Amelia, you catch on too quick, shush. I'm gonna make you do it, Taki, because I'm stressed. And this is your favor for coming to my family home like this.
Yes, ma'am. Leave it to me. Taki reporting in.
All right,
See you at dinner.
mother. Mwah.
Yes, dear.
foul play, but I respect it. And she like, we'll wait for her to. Anything else you would like to drop on me before we dine?
Why, nothing that I can think of. Thank you for asking, though.
Ace is just smiling. Okay then.
You can tell she's like very much still kind of giggling to herself.
Mm-hmm.
Well then, I will see you both at dinner. I believe it will be ready in less than an hour, so I will be heading there now. See you soon.
I will meet you there. See you, Taki. You're
Bye,
lucky
Mrs.
we're not having
Raine.
rabbit stew.
Bye, Ace.
Have fun. See you then.
Oh no!
He's like, what did I do to deserve this?
She just, as she like slowly closes the door, she does give him like a little smile, like a genuine like I'm messing
Yeah.
with you wink as she closes it.
Yeah. Fair enough. So at this point, the rest of Team Recall would have gotten the same kind of message and heads up that like, hey, dinner is gonna be served very shortly. So prepare yourselves for dinner and start heading down, you know? So all the NPCs start preparing. And if there's no further notice, everyone heads to dinner. Excellent. So obviously there isn't everybody there. It's pretty much a dinner for all of you, right? So let me make sure this is the right track. No, that's not the right track. Maybe something like this. That's not bad. Yeah, sure. It's all of you. So everyone from Team Recall, all of the people who are tagging along. Eden, can I assume that you would have let Silyeong know about all that? I kind of forgot about.
Oh yeah, she
Sure.
would have let him know.
Fair enough. And he would have made sure his mother was okay before joining. Everyone plus Valentine. Basically, Valentine is the representative of the family. Nikolas is not present. Few servants are attending everybody in this very beautiful dining room. And the main thing you notice is like a bunch of portraits, like really big paintings of it's seemingly the Raine family history, maybe even seemingly like the tower history. Kind of hard to tell exactly, but feel free to investigate at your leisure. And, you know, Luke is there too. Luke was kind of prepping everybody for like, don't expect much. But this is a nice meal. It's a nice meal. There's a nice stew that's available for everybody, but the side of stew and soup, whatever, and bread and everything you would expect, and wine, and there's certainly some fowl that has been cooked, little birds that are ready to be consumed and kind of cut and passed out to everybody. And so Valentine is looking around the room, kind of smiling, and the food tastes very, very good. Maybe not the best thing you've ever had, but it's certainly up there. It tastes not bad. You can tell that like Valentine kind of tastes it and kind of gives a little sigh herself for whatever reason before turning to everybody. Once again, the Raine family welcomes all of you to Avalon, and I want to thank you all more personally for helping my daughter up the tower. It truly means the world. And meanwhile, Taki's like shaking in the chair, and there's a moment where Hugo just like looks over and like, Taki, hey, hey Hugo, hey man, hey Hugo, looks him up and down. And he just kind of like blurts out, so in the past, it was kind of a long story, but like I used to be like, like way back in the day, like one of the people that might have maybe, if things like lined up, like could have been like, married to Lyria. And Hugo like kind of raises an eyebrow, like what? And Taki kind of like explains, somebody looks like.
Why are you doing this, bro? No.
Stop it.
Ace is eating her soup, all innocent. Not a clue in the world. She looks like she's never seen him before in her life. I mean, maybe not that extreme, but very much like,
Yeah.
like she doesn't know what he's talking about.
How the hell are you still alive?
Thumbs up. Hugo just like shakes his head and sighs. Well, that is surprising, but I'm glad you're here. And kind of like, he's sitting next to him, so he kind of like fist bumps him. Oh, he starts crying. Hugo, and he gives him a hug. He's like, all right, calm down, calm down. I'm glad to be here too. Yes, as am I. She like looks at Hugo, looks at Ace. I hope you're all enjoying the
catches
meal.
the mom matchmaker vibe.
Yeah.
I approve. I approve.
Yeah. I'm sure none of you are very familiar with the Raine family. She kind of motions to the portraits around the room. Our main claim to fame, so to speak, is our founder, Nikolas's father, was one of the companions of the 13 great warriors many, many years ago. He has since passed on, leaving Nikolas in charge of the family. But there are many tales and stories of their adventures and their climb together. At this point, we take on a more advisory role to the other great families. But in recent years, as you can probably tell, our influence has waned. However, we are very happy with what we have. And she kind of like motions over to Silyeong. In fact, if I am not mistaken, the founder of the Linguist family has some amount of history with the great families too. Am I right? He swallows his food kind of suddenly. I believe so. Bjorn Linguist, yes. I must be honest, I do not know much about my family's history, but much of it is contained within this. And he holds up the flame, the Linguist flame. This is what allows those of us in the Linguist family to tap into our powers, at least more finely. And I will be using this to do my best for Nikolas, for Mr. Raine. He kind of struggles with that. She kind of looks at the piece of jewelry. How fascinating! And she kind of like touches her own diamond on her face. Well, do any of you have any questions about Avalon or the Raine family?
Hello there, Queen of Hearts. Captain B here. Quick question. How did you guys go broke?
It's a valid question. Luke hangs his head, but Valentine doesn't pay any mind to it. It was a myriad of factors. Losing the founder of our family was not easy. And even though it happened so long ago, it's never been the same. Eventually, Nikolas got sick, and his power with it. With his diamonds no longer being able to fuel Avalon, we were forced to land, and we've been at this location ever since for a few decades now. The ship hasn't taken flight since. And with Nikolas being more out of the commission every day, it has fallen to his inner circle to handle things. And she looks up and briefly looks at Luke. And we have struggled. The tower is not as it once was, and we have much to learn.
Jian looks.
Understood.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Jian looks kind of like fascinated when she says the fueling part, and then she kind of like says, "Wait, diamonds fuel an airship, ship, or whatever this is?"
She smiles. The Raine family, our symbol, our powers, they all stem from these. And she points the diamond on her face. Ultimately, they are the source of our family's power. Depending on which legends you may believe, perhaps even influence more than just power regarding our family's history and our role, at least our previous role. But yes, more concretely, our powers directly are what allowed this ship to take flight. We don't use ordinary floatstone on this floor, if you haven't noticed. And so the administrator and the Shinsu here is quite different than other floors, regarding floating objects specifically. And so, it used to be no trouble at all for Nikolas. And even after he fell ill, his inner circle and their diamonds used to be enough, but slowly but surely without Nikolas, it's been... I'm sure we could take flight, but it wouldn't be as stable. So Avalon has become a grounded city, a grounded town, at least for the time being.
That's interesting. I wonder how that all works. Like, is there an engine, quote-unquote, room? Or then she kind of, like, imagines stuff. I don't know.
Are you an engineer, June?
Oh, no, not at all. I'm just curious.
Hmm.
Although Ace over here is kind of like the engineer, kind of.
I picked
Mechanic.
up on that. She, like, looks over. A woman of many talents. Shion immediately is like, we have a little group. We call ourselves the Mechanics, and she's our leader. Wow. And she's like, look over impressed. You know, you will have to speak with Oboe, our lead engineer, at some point.
Oh boy?
Mm-hmm. Do you not remember him?
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy! I remember what I used to call him.
Oh, and he would always
boy.
get so upset with you.
Yeah, he would, but I'm too fast for him.
Oh, you'll have to pay him a visit.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's been a while since I've thought of the inner circle. I know Luke replaced his father, but is everyone else the same?
Actually, our Accord, our head bodyguard, has also taken over the role from her father. And aside from that, they've all remained roughly the same. Yes, I do believe so.
Boy's the engineer.
In fact, that is partly the issue, is they're getting older, as we all are, and it's been harder to control the diamonds as effectively. Without Nikolas to pass them on to new individuals. There's only so much power it can have in so much time.
Both Ace and Eden rolled investigation for the pictures behind her.
Did not notice. Oh boy, look at you guys, 19 and 20. All right, did not notice. Yeah, so you see some of the details, and they seem like legendary depictions of the climb. So you kind of see almost stylized versions of the great family heads. Of course, 10 of them. You see, like, kind of... They're almost faceless, you know? Like, their features are obscured, but you see the hair, you see the weapon, enough to know who they represent. And you see clearly detailed, in comparison, the dark red hair of the Raine family, and this kind of glowing power stemming from his hands. And with enough high roll, you do see that there is a portrait of some of the companions to these great warriors. And you see one that has a striking kind of blonde hair, that you can't help but take note of as well. I would say there's also an image of like a floating Avalon. Like this town has been around and this ship has been around for quite a long time. And it looks beautiful in this like gorgeous long painting. You see all the details, the intricacies, and you thought this ship was fairly impressive, but seeing what it used to be, at least according to this artist's interpretation, is quite impressive. She kind of looks around the room as if to ask, as if to say if there's anyone else that has any, like, questions or thoughts after Brack's, initial...
I have a question. So...
Kun Jong Se, is that correct?
It is.
By all means.
Your husband. What do you think is wrong with him?
I ask myself the same question every night. Reflecting on the moment that I first noticed it. His demeanor. He's never been the most outgoing man. But there was a life in his eyes. A determination in his spirit. It's one of the reasons I fell in love with him. And one day I noticed... We were gazing out at the townspeople. And despite the prosperity of our city, he had a sad look on his face, and he told me the suffering of the people, the innocents, the undeserving of pain. He lamented that he couldn't do more for them. And that sad expression I've never forgotten it. Nikolas has always been a bit of a dreamer, you see. Someone who always has the next great idea to help his people and all people. But since that day, it's as if some life left him. That determination dwindling. At first I thought perhaps it was something that he had noticed. What was he experiencing? I can't think of any particular event that may have happened to change him so suddenly. But ever since, he's gotten worse and worse for no apparent reason.
And the debt that you said you guys are in, did that happen around the time he got sick?
The debt was actually after. We were doing fairly well. Of course, we had lost some support after the death of Nikolas's father. But we were doing quite well. Our financial problems only started after his sudden illness.
You said that Nikolas spoke a lot about doing more for the people. You guys happen to have any affiliation with Jahad's army?
She kind of cocks her head. Not Jahad's army, per se, but through the great families. Yes, we do have a connection to Jahad, if that is... As a minor lord may have to a king. I've never even seen Jahad, if that gives you an idea.
Do you suspect foul play?
I can't deny the possibility, but if there was foul play, I can't tell what they did to him, or how. But it does seem as though it was an outside force, especially after what kind Silyeong had to say today. She kind of reaffirms what Silyeong said, that this source seems to be coming from outside of Nikolas. But as to why he is more sensitive to it, why Nikolas but not myself, I couldn't say.
Joe, can I do a
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Would it be better to do a well, okay, let's put it this way. I'd like to do an Arcana roll because that shit busted. But
Yeah.
maybe like a medicine roll. Like I want to determine, or I want to see, because like just with Jong's training with Brooke,
Right.
his own sort of natural affinity with Shinsu.
Yeah.
I want to know if he'd be able to determine what kind of Shinsu-related force could do something like that to a person, like could affect them, but on the inside, but on the outside, like mask its presence.
I would say Arcana would make sense here if you want to try to.
Don't gotta tell me twice.
Okay. If you're okay with it, with getting the plus billion.
Don't twist my leg, but I'll do it.
All right. Feel free. Are you kidding me?
Well, damn.
You don't need the bonuses, my friend. That's a natural 20. Okay.
Give me the deets, brother. Give me the deets.
Well,
Clean
I
up.
will explain this to the best of my ability. Let's play some fitting
It's all
music.
before dessert.
Yeah. I know it's wrong. It's just like out of nowhere. Like what? So let me find some where is it? Let's do
Go find that dark one.
maybe this one. This is what I'm looking for. Nah, not Dark Wind. Well, Dark Wind is only used for special occasions. No, I'm kidding. I spam that
It's
thing like
funny that you
nobody's
thought he
business.
had to search for Darkwind like he doesn't have a special key just to play.
Like it's not in
He's
his
got a
recent
soundboard with it ready to go.
So, yeah, like you said, your own training, Brooke, all the experiences you've had, healing, Shinsu, everything. You contemplate Silyeong's words and Valentine's words and what you saw of Nikolas. And I want to re-emphasize the fact that Shinsu, so it seems as though his Shinsu is the thing that's probably sick. Like, his Shinsu is being, like, forced into this situation from the outside, and his body is then, like, following. So it's not that his body is ill, like, oh, he caught a
Right, his body
sickness.
is reflecting the state of
Exactly,
Shinsu.
exactly. But then, to Silyeong's point, it's not like an ordinary, he's not just like depressed. Like, I think the depression and the mood and his general demeanor is a symptom, not the source.
Right.
The source
response
is
to-
something powerful. Something that isn't just as simple as, like, someone's Shinsu affecting his Shinsu, something that, like, almost transcends it, is like weighing down on his Shinsu to some degree, and his body and his mood is then following from this outside pressure. Not to say Shinsu isn't involved in that pressure, but it's probably, I don't want to give it quite a name, but something maybe at a higher plane than like the Shinsu that we all use every day. Not like an administrator, nothing like that. But
Like, so okay, let me break down, like,
yeah,
so not that he wouldn't have an interest in this per se normally, but
okay,
the sickness strikes eerily similar to
right,
what's going on with Shion's brother. So I
Sure.
think, like, he would have taken
Yeah.
a natural interest in figuring out what this is.
mm-hmm,
Does it seem like something that was man-made? Like, it was created or produced by, like...
That's a good
it- like, it
question.
was-
Okay,
I think
let me
so, I
give you
think
an
so.
answer, because I almost think there's like a double meaning here. It does feel man-made, but let me give you a word. It doesn't feel it doesn't feel intentionally man-made. It feels like the result of something man-made. But this is like an unintended side effect of something. So there's
Right,
no
right.
so it is man-made, but maybe as a result
Like,
of
so
something bigger.
Something man-made
Yeah.
was produced. This was not the intended effect, but this was a consequence of the thing that was...
To a
man-
degree,
or could be man-made.
to a degree. By man-made, I want to say that, like, some, like, people are causing it. Probably there is some reason, but it's more like a symptom of a bigger picture, of a bigger
Yeah.
kind of problem. And Nikolas happens to be a kind of
caught in the middle of it.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I hope natural 20. I tried to give you as much as I could there.
Yeah. I think that works. We can work with that.
You can work with that.
Valentine, are you sure that you or Nikolas haven't had contact with any suspicious parties, either before or after he got sick?
The only suspicious parties came after. Not to say they aren't involved, but It was truly a time of peace. Any friends we had then are friends to this day, and we trust them with our hearts, with all our beings. That's why I'm truly so stumped by all of this. Leaf will kind of like look up. I'd be happy to help take a look too. Maybe, Silyeong, I know you mentioned it earlier. Maybe, Jong, you and me could join him next time and try to get to the bottom of it. I don't think has to do with anything with me, but I don't know. I can't shake a feeling that maybe we do. Maybe we could figure out what's going on if we all put our heads together.
We could. It's gonna take more than looking at Nikolas, Leaf.
Ta-da!
Mrs. Raine.
Oh, sorry.
When did Nikolas start to become ill?
She's gonna cite. I'm gonna do this in terms of like, this would have been a good, maybe like decade or so after Ace left. After Lyria left, if that puts the timeline into perspective. I don't know exactly how many years ago that would be. I'm sure we could put the numbers together, but
I'm gonna go do the math. I'll be right back.
thanks. Thank you. You can always count on you, Hannah.
If I could ask one more question, Valentine, how many people would you say are involved in this group of friends you all have? The ones that you trust?
The inner circle.
Yeah.
Nikolas's inner circle, and it's been a tradition within the Raine family since its inception to entrust the diamonds to 6 individuals. 6 individuals that represent different aspects, important pillars of our family. She thinks for a moment. She goes through her Discord messages. sorry, that was a bad joke. These 6 individuals represent the pillars of the Raine family. The heart, the keeper, the mind, the strength, the soul, and the prophet. The heart is represented by myself, and she motions to her diamond. The heart is typically the closest thing to the head of the family. Helps them to remain on track with their goals and dreams, and if anything were to happen to the head, the heart... Oh, I'm sorry, I'm reading the wrong thing. I'm right. The heart, myself, would become the temporary leader, the one to reign in his absence. The keeper, and she motions over to Luke, another bearer of the diamond, like them all, is in charge of the family's financial assets, communications with the outside world, general upkeep of the city of Avalon. If someone wishes to speak to us, the heads, then they would typically go through the keeper. The other 4, the mind, think of them as the engineer, oboe, as I mentioned before. The strength is the primary protector of the Raine family. Accord is currently our head bodyguard. And Ace, you kind of clearly know who she's referring to as Accord's father would have been the one you were probably thinking of, so it's kind of there was a weird disconnect there. There's also the soul, the one responsible for the general morale of the people. Their presence represents a calm in Avalon. Sheng is currently our soul, and lastly is the prophet. I won't say much on the prophet, but just know that they are also a trusted member of our inner circle. I trust all 6 of them wholly. I do not believe they are responsible for this.
And do you have evidence to make that assumption?
I do not.
The inner circle. Ace is like remembering some
Some lore.
things that she had seen when she was younger. Yeah, what her father had like instilled in her as the heir. He'd explained, like as her mom is saying those things, he'd explained the roles before. She remembers distinctly him telling her that one day this would be her own. These people would be her own, if not her own, replacements or whatever. But there's a lot to gaining a diamond. The inner circle is a sacred place. It would be hard to betray. We're all connected in some way or another. I feel like if there was a traitor amongst them, they wouldn't be able to conceal it. At least not for long. Except for maybe the Prophet. They were always a more elusive one. But still, if we were to trust anyone, we would trust them. Perhaps we should make touch.
Valentine, would we be able to speak with any of these individuals?
Of course. In fact, I was going to suggest the very same thing. I'm glad we're in agreement. Let me make a note real quick. Okay. And then, she kind of like looks up. By all means, tomorrow, if you would be so willing. Tomorrow is a perfect opportunity. I know you all have things you wish to accomplish and can't remain forever. And Victor gets like the puppy dog eyes.
Where's poker, Victor?
He's like pulls him out from under the table, like he had stuffed him under the table. He's like, here, he's fine.
He should have his own seat. He is the
It's a
heir to the Raine
replacement.
family.
Poker's not there.
He like motions to his servant to get like a little mini little like almost like
That's
a
right,
baby.
a booster seat.
Yeah.
Booster seat.
He places poker
Lock
into the
'em in.
booster seat.
There we go. There we go.
Continue. He motions to Valentine. She smiles. In fact, she kind of taps her finger on the table. Especially considering she looks at Ace, the possibility of, well, the truth of our heir, the very first Raine to ever be born with 3 diamonds, returning to the family, and with the possibility of a potential, she looks over at Hugo, a potential new addition to the family. Would you all mind if we discussed that topic? She says as she looks like right at Hugo. He like looks at Ace like she knew. He stands up.
Like, this is gonna be exciting.
They're all getting their popcorn for dessert.
Mrs. Raine, it would be my she like holds up a hand. My daughter has chosen you. I do not doubt her decision. Just Hugo, she smiles. However, the Raine family is filled with traditions, customs. There is a way that we do things, especially pertaining to the importance of heirs. When Nikolas chose myself, I had to go through a similar process. The servants like make sure like, are you okay?
Upon the mention of like producing heirs, like,
Oh damn, PTSD.
just a little.
Yeah. And before you are concerned, I had to go through the very same process. And I survived. She smiles. survive. He's like, a process. What would that process be? Oh, nothing that isn't easy to handle. Can be handled within the day. And she like leans forward. You can almost all feel like the room lighting kind of dims, you know? She kind of like leans forward and puts her chin on her hand. I need you to bring back 4 items tomorrow. Easily obtainable in walking distance of Avalon. She points fingers. The seed of sorrows. The root of joy. The fruit of resolve. And the fowl of temptation. Bring me these 4 items, Hugo, by the time the clock strikes 12 tomorrow, and I shall welcome you into the Raine family as the current acting head. Hugo's like, he's like heavy breathing, like, you could tell he is like clocking everything that she's saying. Any questions? Of course you have questions. I'll be sure to inform you in private.
I have one.
Lopobia Woo.
Who told you? Never. What kind of
Taki goes
Cinderella
right in.
treasure hunt you got my man going on? And why is this not-
It's like that clock strikes 12.
What are you really talking about? You had to do this, Madame Valentine?
If you are defending your friend, do not worry. Help
Oh, I'm
is
not.
accepted.
I want. He needs to.
This is not a task. This is not a task he would be able to do on his own.
Figured as much.
But as I said, the tasks should be quite easy for regulars of the 92nd floor. B rank, correct? Should be a breeze.
How much do you actually know? Actually,
Oh, now someone
I shouldn't be
acknowledged that, right?
surprised by any of this. You don't expect us to
My
fail, do
mother,
you?
after all.
Fail?
Keep that in
no.
mind.
You genuinely believe that we can do this?
Wait, we.
Yes, we. With the
We're not all
program.
getting married to Ace. What?
Oh, that's for sure. But you will need help, Hugo. Please.
Understood. I accept the challenge.
Chin up, man. It'll be fine. We've been through worse. 4 relics before 12. Light work.
Thank you, Mrs.
It
Raine.
sounds like it's a good excuse for a bachelor bonding party.
Oh, no.
Hugo
no.
turns
Bachelor
to
will be
Brack.
throwing a real bachelor party. This is
Brack.
not that.
You wanted to be my best man.
Oh my
Are you
God.
with me?
I got your back, Big H.
Thank you. He turns to Wu and Jong. Can I count on you? My friends. He's never looked more serious in his life.
Oh man, you know, he's busting out to your friends and everything. Shit, bro.
We
how
got
big is the
it.
party gotta be? Oh, okay. Yeah.
We
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
We got it. Just don't worry, man. Everything's gonna be fine.
Thank you.
Big H as your best man. I'd like to nominate Super Bunny to come with us as well. I think it would be hilarious.
Why are you trying to sabotage the mission?
Yeah, Brack, you can't just
No,
bring
no
strangers
offense,
along.
Taki. No offense.
Taken. None taken, I mean.
To be honest, Super Bunny survived with us in pretty much an unsurvivable event. Right, Super Bunny? You remember that old man?
You know,
To
I don't
be
think
fair,
that was
I
because of me,
saved him,
though.
but,
I
you
think
know.
I think you guys 4 items, 4 people. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
You all
Brack,
go
we don't know how
No.
many random people that we don't know.
Okay,
Honestly,
well, ooh.
If I'm being real, Taki could be of some use after all. I was just joking, by the way, brother.
I
I
know.
would love to have your company.
I know. He pulls the dagger out of his heart. I know. Thanks, man.
Let's just gush it out.
Victor looks but doesn't say anything. He just rubs his chin, smiling to himself.
That's weird.
Victor, you're not locked in enough, okay? Just earlier today, you were trying to shirk your responsibilities and stay here forever. I need you to get your head to the game.
Stay here forever, Valentine
Sick
says.
Raccoon.
No.
She kind of like backs. She like her eyes remain locked on Hugo, and then she just kind of backs away. I believe it's time for dessert, please. And she motions to the servants, and they all quickly go scuttle off to get the dessert. Hugo like slowly sits down.
He gives him a pat on the shoulder, like a rub, like you're gonna, it's gonna be fine. She like leans in. I've heard of these trials. I always dreamed of putting my fiance through them when I was little. You'll survive.
It'll be
You
easy.
see a smile similar to her and Valentine
Yeah.
mirrored, basically.
Above the table, can we hear the conversation?
But she's
Or
not
are y'all
hiding.
that close?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Nah.
Pink Demon, what kind of pep talk is that?
Well, it's a public pep talk, Brack.
I know, and we can hear you. Well, you just told him it'll be fine. You'll survive, maybe. Okay, maybe.
He will. And when we're in private, I'll give him a better pep talk. What about it? Oh,
We don't need to hear that. We're trying to eat here. Like, why are you
Exactly.
bringing that to the table?
exactly. Which is why I said public.
So this is why we don't take you to nice places. All right, guys.
Take me to nice places? You're in my house.
You haven't been here for decades. It's not your house.
It's gonna be. Technically, it's a ship. But hey, you're in this together now. You're gonna help Hugo beat these trials so that I'm his problem forever. Think of the incentive for you.
Yeah, actually, about that, can the rabbit guy take my place? If that's cool.
Hugo like looks over, like almost like genuinely like offended. Like what?
Oh, I love you to death, Hugo. Don't get me wrong. I just
Yeah, you're coming along.
I can't do this without you, Jong.
he looks at Hugo like, dog. It can't be that serious. Relax.
Well, he is taking it to the extreme.
June's gonna say, "Don't worry, Jong. I'll investigate. I got you."
The dinner continues on relatively peacefully. Any other things to mention to Valentine? Any other conversations over dinner before the evening, the night arrives?
I feel like, as an aside, poker is just making this really hard for Victor for no reason. Like the toddler that just like grabs a fork,
Cool.
grabs a spoon, grabs this, like,
No, no,
and then as soon as he takes his fan for that, he grabs something else, and he's just like waiting for a slight moment of weakness for Victor, and then he's like, oh, and then I'll take this, and then I'll take, and it's just, he just does that for the entire.
There's a moment where Victor like pulls him, like kind of pulls him aside, like, do you know what this headband means? Do you know what this circle means? It means, you know, you are in the presence of the Raine family.
Poker just like his vest.
Poker's too big for his britches. Damn.
He's. I told y'all he's in that teenage phase.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
problem.
Uh-oh.
And now it's Victor's problem. For
Yeah,
like 48
thanks.
hours.
Still that terrible twos. We got terrible teams.
Yeah, he's sassy.
The dinner continues on, nicely, and before long, Silyeong stands up. Thank you very much for your hospitality, Mrs. Raine. I'd like to go check on Nikolas now with this, after hearing what you have told us. And she kind of like, oh, certainly. And she says that the servants will lead him there. Does Jong still, would Jong like to tag along? Is there any meaning to that? Or maybe after talking to the townspeople, then maybe that would be more appropriate? What do you think?
Well, I wasn't gonna talk to the townspeople.
The inner circle, I meant, because
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's. But I mean, yeah. No, he can go. Like he can go with Silyeong now.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. I think Leaf would also go. So they head over there to take a closer look at Nikolas. I'll keep it somewhat brief here. Would you like to roll, Jong, as you enter the room and see Nikolas?
You know I would.
Alrighty. I think this one maybe the medicine check here makes more sense because you're actually right in front of them. You know.
Okay.
14.
Oh, I think I still have. Oh, I had it on advantage by accident.
That's fine. We just take the first.
Okay,
They were
you
both
just take-
14
okay.
anyway,
Yeah,
so
it's
yeah.
the same thing, so it doesn't matter, but
Yeah. I mean, so I would say, again, just to kind of, I think the thoughts you would have had over dinner, we can just say you reconfirm in person,
Well,
based on your experience. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, let me just to avoid saying the same thing.
Yeah.
For the medicine roll, can I use that to determine what, like, okay, so, because right now he suspects
Yeah.
that there's some kind of, like, I think just personally, he doesn't fully buy that, like, these 6 people who are all associated in this group that have some kind of authority,
Yeah.
that, like, they're all definitely innocent. Like, that sounds a little
right.
suspect to him.
Okay.
So I think he is assuming or considering that, like, there's some kind of power play being made here, right? Like, somebody did something to target and get rid of Nikolas, get him out of this position so that they either could take his place or get somebody that, like, you know, they prefer in his position.
Okay.
So could I use the medicine roll to determine if anything either on his body looks like there was
okay,
if there looks to be anything wrong with his body that isn't from the sickness?
I got you. So yeah, I would say in person you see everything that we had talked about and kind of reconfirm it, but yeah, as far as like paying attention to any specifics regarding if anyone did anything to him, any injuries, it seems as though he's been taken care of quite well, and that from what you can tell, nobody has harmed him or done anything to him aside from what looks to be care, like, you know, washing him and whatever else, and nothing that you notice appears to be out of the ordinary in terms of people approaching him or interacting with him, if that answers your question somewhat.
Okay, yeah, it does.
There's a moment where Silyeong will kind of remain silent, and then he'll just say, "I know he can be cured. We can cure him. It's certainly possible. I've never had this feeling, this feeling of as if the thing that stands between us is almost insurmountable. It's like the sickness of many people combined into one. I need to learn more of Nikolas."
No, sorry.
No, it's all good.
He, like, after listening, puts his hand on Silyeong's shoulder. We are going to cure him. But we're going to figure out what's wrong with him. We have to. And again, like, you can hear, like, well, maybe not Silyeong, but I'll say, like, because you said Leaf's here too,
Yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say, like, Leaf specifically, just by the look on his face, like, there's a little bit of, like, a loaded, like, he's saying that, obviously, like, to cure Ace's dad, but, like, again, if what he suspects is true, there's, like, a very personal reason why he wants to figure out, like, what this is and, like, how to cure it.
Right. Leaf says, "It does sound like learning more about the family and about Nikolas and about the diamonds might be helpful in determining more. There's a lot of us here. We're all gonna play our part in helping get to the bottom of all this. There has to be a source and we'll find it." Yeah, Silyeong. And he'll volunteer to remain and just continue to kind of search through his shinsu and find any clues if possible. I would say that the other people after the dinner, kind of winding down overall for the night. I will give you all kind of like a moment if you wish. Is there something that your characters would like to do?
I know June at some point would like to check out where the main engineer is in that
Sure.
area. If
I'll
that's-
say this much. I think she will get the chance probably the next day.
Okay.
If that helps, maybe say you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. There's like this assurance that like you guys are gonna have a whole day tomorrow to explore and find out more about the ship and all that stuff. Those who are not attending the trials, dun, 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 and whatever and all that stuff.
The boy trials, huh?
The bachelor trials.
Yeah.
I want to give everyone else a chance to do a scene or whatever, but before or after that,
Yeah.
Ace will have a moment in her old bedroom. But I want to make
okay.
sure someone else, like,
Yeah. I would say the one thing that, as far as NPCs go, the only thing that I would want to go out of my way to do is that at some point, Victor would have like knocked up, like been like, Eden, like, we have minutes to we have to have our meeting, like he would have.
What court mandated this?
The court of you and me.
Uh-huh.
We could play a game. We could play some chess. We could play some checkers. We could chat. We could go for a walk. What do you want to do?
I don't know.
Okay,
What
that's
do
fine.
you want to do?
Let's go for a walk. Just chat. Nothing about anything specific. Let's go for a walk. I need help looking after Poker after all. Poker! Get back here!
No.
Poker!
That is your business now. Grandma Grandma's off duty.
You're
you get
right.
to dip your toes into childcare now. Good luck.
It's so hard. Okay, that's fine. Just wanted you to know I didn't forget, All right.
Poker rushes over to Eden,
Yes, baby.
attaches
My dear
himself to
baby.
her leg,
Hey,
Oh, no.
glares up at Victor.
Hey, Grandma's off
No.
duty. No. Get back here. Hey. I said you're in trouble, mister.
Oh.
Do you want me to ground you?
Poker. What?
He's just like,
Eden will pick him up. She's like, God, he's heavy. Okay, hey, baby. You are thick. What's going on?
he's very proud of his pudge.
Yes.
I think he
Of course
he
is.
grabs very casually, like he starts playing with. He reaches a paw out to Victor, like come closer, come close.
He's like, this better not be a prank. You better not like scratch me when I get closer. He like draws
No,
closer.
He looks so gentle. He looks like such a
That's
good
even
boy.
more suspicious.
Yeah, he just like
It's just a fluffy
he-
guy.
He starts like slowly like petting a strand of Victor's hair.
Oh.
Like he just like takes a strand of Victor's hair, and then he takes a strand of Eden's hair and ties them together real quick. and then
Ah!
runs.
I knew it. If he looks innocent, it means there's something going on.
You hear
Poker.
something that kind of sounds like a laugh, as he like goes under a couch.
Jeez.
I mean, his
Like
legs kind of get
Poker
stuck,
will hear. Oh no.
but he's like
Poker will-
shimmying under there.
As much as Eden wants to grab him by the tail, because he sure is not gonna fit under that
You're
couch.
attached to Victor, so
Well, I know. Like I said, as much as she would like to, because he's scuttling with his feet and probably not going anywhere.
yeah, he's like it looks like he's swimming on the hardwood floor, like trying to get under this couch.
Poker. Like with her most disappointed grandma voice.
His butt stops. This is about all you
For
can
this
see.
act of extreme treachery against your grandmother, who has done nothing but take care of you, have refitted that vest on you like 5 times in the last like couple months.
Oh my god. It's a lot of times.
I think this warrants no cherry tarts until I decide that, you know, your punishment has been served.
With
That
an
might help you
exhale of
fit in your vest a little
disappointment-
bit better.
With an exhale of disappointment, he manages to get under the couch. Like
The couch
he,
is
he,
like
pops in.
lopsided.
Yeah, yeah. He's like as flat as can be,
Mm.
but you see his 2 little raccoon hands stick out, right?
Mhm.
And you just see him go, a little heart. And then he flips you off and sinks back.
Oh
in.
my god, this little rat.
He's
Who
smart.
raised
He
him?
knows there's.
Never mind, I know the
Who do
answer
you
and it
think?
explains everything.
Who do you think?
That rat! Ugh.
He's not a rat. He's a raccoon. Just to be.
How are you so
All of a sudden,
patient
you guys
after
see
everything
it.
he just
You
did?
guys, a laser pointer on your shoes?
How did you get a laser pointer, Poker? I
You
have
would
so
know,
many
Eden,
questions.
that it's his eyes.
Oh, that's right. That's
It-
right.
it's his
Oh
eye.
damn, right. I didn't think of that.
And, like,
Poke. Poker.
Eden would know from previous experiences that he's recording you guys.
Oh
from
my-
the couch, 100%.
This has to be
it's
breaking
live
like
feeding
1,000 laws.
to
This
people's
has got
pockets.
this has got to be. She's
Eden
like
will
the
just,
lightning is like snapping off his
Untie the
fingers.
hair. Untangle the hair. It's just like, okay.
Oh, man. I'm gonna zap you, buddy. Is threatening violence like good for this kind of thing? Do you think? Like, would that help teach him a lesson if I threatened to
Technically,
fry
child-
him?
Technically, when rearing children, threatening violence isn't the best thing to do.
You cannot. Okay, that's not.
You guys can hear yourselves on your own pockets right now.
Poker.
So it's kind of like Poker's feed is connected to Team Recall's pockets for observing, like as like an observer feed, because that's what his eye is. So like you guys can hear yourself talking in your own pockets.
Why are we broadcasting this, sir?
They
Turn
tried
it
to
off.
beat a raccoon.
It's
I
insurance.
did nothing of the
His
sort.
mom is also getting this feed, so if you try to kill him, he's like, "This is my insurance." After a bad prank,
I'm not going to hurt you. I just want to know
as
why.
Victor's crackling.
Yeah. She's like feeling her hair from the static electricity start to raise, and she's like patting it down. Poker, no. Turn it off. Okay. You're still on the treachery list, though, sir.
Disgusting.
You understand, right? Don't you call my grandbaby disgusting.
All right, I'm sorry. Listen, hey, Poker, time's almost up. It's time to go to bed. Thank you, Eden, for your help. I'm gonna tuck this guy into bed and maybe with chains, and then I can finally get some shut eye. That's how you keep out raccoons, right? You like chain up the. Yeah, okay, that'll be perfect.
No. He has a bed in Ace's lighthouse.
All right, well then
Where he
that's where he's gonna go with lock and key. Eden,
Okay.
it's been lovely talking to you.
All right. Good night.
I am gaining gray hairs by the second.
You already have light blue hair. You have no. Especially coming from me. What do you mean?
Yeah, but you rock it, so it's different. I don't think I would rock it the same way.
Your hair is already light, my guy. Like, what do you mean?
Exactly. Oh, well, I guess that's true. All right, Eden. Good night.
So you get
Okay.
more of an icy blue. Okay. All right.
Just the raccoon gif of the raccoon like running on his
Yeah,
2
of
feet.
course.
Like that's kind of yeah.
So then, Ace in her room.
I think when Ace enters her room, it's like super odd. It's like, you know, a time capsule. Since Valentine said that nothing had been moved. or like it was still intact.
Yeah.
And it looks like every little girl's like dream for like the spoiled princess type. You know, Ace was very much like the shoujo, isekai, whatever, like the spoiled princess little girl type was definitely her. So very extravagant, lacy, fluffy, stuffed animals everywhere, pink as all get out. Various shades, you know. It looks like all of that. And so she's kind of embarrassed when she first walks in, because it's like, that's a lot of pink. She's probably going to stay in a different room, but she wanted to check it out. And maybe Hugo's with her.
Okay.
Before going to bed.
Yeah, he'll be there too. He's looking around like, whoa.
Yeah. Pretty bad.
You really were a princess, huh?
Don't say it like that.
Not that it's a
Yes,
bad
I was,
thing.
100%. Or at least I was spoiled like one. But she
You had
like
a
walks
comfy
over to her
life.
bed. Yeah. Strange one, but comfy. She like starts looking under the... No, it's not over here. It's somewhere in here though. Little Lyria, where did you put it? She's like closing her eyes, trying to remember where she had kept certain things.
Yeah.
She like lowers herself to the floorboard, knocks on a few. And finally, after kind of like rummaging around a bit, she pulls out a little like notebook and looks at it, turns it over a few bits, and then kind of like almost too casually tries to like tuck it away. Like, oh, okay. And then we'll keep looking. Something.
Something specific.
And she goes over to her drawer. She opens it. And there's a little box similar to what her mother, like it looks like what her mother had shown her earlier. It's like the same style of box.
Yeah.
But like a different, it's like a pink. And she pulls it out. I might have done something a little, I don't want to say naughty, bad before I left. She like sits through the chest, and like in the chest there's like all these little locks. It looks pretty dinky. Like it's not smooth by any means, but it looks like she had like booby trapped it, put layers there. Like a little girl had put in the works to make sure that this thing couldn't
Invisible
be...
ink.
Yeah, exactly. That couldn't be found. She had already
Yeah.
tucked away her little journal, but like, she manages to like pry it, and there's like a few pieces of jewelry in there. Now, technically, I didn't steal these. They were already mine. I'm just... She, like, sifts through. And she takes out, like, these small bands. And they look... Like, nothing too fancy.
Yeah.
I always wondered where I got that red string. And she like keeps sifting through her jewelry box. And I know I had more of it. I didn't take all of it because I was going to come back. So I left some of my stash here because I was only going to be gone a night. So I didn't pack everything that I was going to take with me. Because it was just a little trick, you know? Like I wasn't actually going to run away. And so she keeps sifting through. And then sure enough, at the end of it, she finds this like spool of red thread. And she, like, looks at it. My mom reminded me of this when she showed me her ribbon box earlier. You weren't there, but I used to want to mimic her, right? So, for some reason or another, I got really attached to the idea of red ribbon and red strings, and I would tie them around all my my stuffed animals, my friends, you know, anything I wanted to keep track of. I would find a way to take something from this spool, which was my mom's at one point. That's the stolen but not stolen part, because she technically gave it to me, but probably not this much. And anyway, I wanted to see if I had more so that I could, and she like unspirals it a little bit, and she cuts a little bit, and she turns to Hugo. Give me your hand.
Oh, he's like,
Or
oh,
your finger, more or less.
my, he takes off his glove, gives you your hand, his hand.
She ties the red string around his ring finger in place of where like a band would be. Now you can say that you've officially have your own red string from the original red string that I carried around as a kid. And since I don't have a ring for you yet, this will have to suffice. And I wanted you to have something special from me, from Lyria, before you do your trial tomorrow. That's all.
He's just staring at it. He smiles widely, like a kid. This means the world to me.
I'm sure my younger self would have loved to have given you that if we were ever in the same time.
Perhaps. I'm just happy that I'm in this time.
Yeah. So, don't give up tomorrow. The guy's in
Don't
check.
remind me. He like covers his face. You can. And when he opens his eyes again, it's like resolve, pure resolve. I can do this. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'll have them with me after all. We'll knock it out in no time at all. Will you be visiting the inner circle?
Yeah. I'm gonna try to figure out what I can do to restore my father's circle. I have Shinsu after all. So I'll be doing that.
Then good luck to you too. We both have a big day tomorrow. Let's make it count. And he'll pull her in and give her a hug and a kiss and all that.
Now let's get out of this room. It's freaking me out.
Sure thing. The two of them leave the room.
And let's check on... She gives like an aside of like, let's check on poker because I just got the weirdest live feed.
That's true. He looks at him like, oh god. He doesn't know how to handle him. And they rush off to go and check on poker as everyone prepares for the following day. We're going to end the episode there.
No.
Impressed.
Bro, you sounded just like Anakin at the end of episode 3.
We're gonna end the episode there with the continuation of the Ace Family mini arc. Well done, everybody. Well done, y'all. Appreciate
Brother.
it. Yes, indeed. It's been a
Yeah.
pleasure. It's been here, indeed. A lot of fun. That was a great episode. Really enjoyed it. And thank you all very much for watching. If you enjoy, then you can support the series by joining the Discord, leaving a like on the stream, and all that good stuff. As far as I'm aware, we should be live again next week. So definitely look forward to that. Light, I see you in the chat. Shout out. All caught up. Appreciate you, Light. Thank you to everybody who supported the series, donated or supported the episode, stream, donated, and all that stuff. Appreciate all of you. Any other thoughts from the cast before we sign off for the night?
The greatest best man in best man history is about to step up to the plate and win this for our boy Hugo.
This is all well and
Sorry
good.
for
I just
that.
want it to be known that this is not the bachelor party, okay? Just
Okay.
because this
Right.
arcade, the bachelor party will be its own separate event.
Right.
Same.
Thank you for clarifying.
Thank
What
you
it-
guys for all that. I'm not used to again talking so much, and I love it, and I love the lore. But thank you guys so much for being patient and letting Ace have like this little highlight. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, it's been great fun. All right, y'all. We'll see you next time for the next episode. Have a great rest of your night. Adios.
Ta-ta.
Ta-ta.
Au revoir.
Take care.
Arrivederci.
Goodbye.
Farewell.